Yeah, 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 yeah. Shake it, but keep pointing out all the lies. Putting the scripture right in your eye. The Bible guy. He reads Hebrew and Greek and shows you that your book's not unique. The Bible guy. He turns through the pages until every Christian rages. The Bible guy. Watch one time and you're hooked. Now let's watch why the Christians get cooked. The Bible guy.
Howdy, howdy, everyone. This is the Bible Guy here, coming at you live from Northeast Texas. It is Sunday, January the 11th, and hopefully we'll get some interesting calls in today from some Christians who are willing to. God damn it! I was supposed to make a new. I totally forgot. I was supposed to make a new board to go up here for topics. Let's see if I have one in storage somewhere around here I can use. Howdy, partner.
Yellow, yellow.
Yellow.
You like my weird ways of saying hi?
Yeah. Let's take a look. Pictures, saved pictures. Yeah, we'll use this one. Very generic. Boom.
Very generic.
And I'll just rename it to Why Should I? That's a good
Glitter
name.
says, I'm number one. I'm number one.
Number one is what I do after I drink a lot. Yeah.
We never got past the 5th grade, y'all.
Yes and no. All right. Let's see, make that a little bit smaller and then also add it to the vertical stream. Look how professional we are. Image. Why should I? Ooh, it's huge. So she said. Topic board. Also, yeah.
Y'all. She didn't say it. Just FYI.
we really didn't get past the 1st grade. There we go. Today's topic.
This is a really weird hobby, as someone says. I mean, being a judgmental prick on the internet is also a weird hobby, but look, here you are.
Oh, yeah. That's a weird hobby. But no, this isn't weird at all. Instructing people and educating people, we've been doing that for thousands of years. We're just gotten a lot better at it now in the modern era. But tell me that you are a dogmatic indoctrinated fool without telling me you're a dogmatic indoctrinated fool. But we already got a super chat right off the bat. Love to see it. Let's take a look.
At Drew Smith PBA with the $5. Reading and enjoying the book, The Bible Says So.
Yeah, everyone, y'all should definitely check out The Bible Says So by Dr. Dan McClellan. It's an excellent starter book for deconstructing. What's the girl host so snappy? She's snappy because you're crappy.
Dirty Roger, you come in here all the time and make comments about like my appearance. So yeah, I don't particularly care for strange men on the internet who like to talk about women's appearance and then makes like disgusting and weird comments. I know who you are because I see you, and I'm just fair, so I don't just block you. But it's weird what you do. It is really weird.
Ichthius says, Dalton, I've been told cannibalism count is not a command from God. Can you elaborate on this? Touch on that. So it's not a command in the sense of like God is prescribing moral behavior on what you're supposed to do to be righteous. However, it is given that God is the cause for making the children of Israel eat their own young. If it wasn't for the Israelites sinning, then God wouldn't have punished them. And the punishment that God gives out to the Israelites is that they will eat their young. So while it's not categorized as a commandment, it is categorized as something that Yahweh is causing to happen. So whoever's just make sure you make that distinction next time you have a conversation with whoever it was you were having a conversation with. Yeah, it's mentioned in many verses. Although it's not categorized as commandment, it is something that Yahweh himself does enact upon the children of Israel as a punishment for their sin, which is still fucked up. Like, making people eat their children as a punishment will always, always be fucked up. But okay, the question of today is, why should I, the Bible guy, believe in the Bible? I don't believe the Bible is true. So let's see if there are any Christians out there or Jewish individuals who are able to convince me or give me a reason to believe in the Bible. Let's see. Make sure that my video ninja is on as well. Fantastic. Everything is up and running. How is everyone doing today? Duncan, your hair's cut still looks good. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to know that I can pull it off. I get super self-conscious about the shape of my head. So having really short hair makes me feel a little bit self-conscious. Do you think humans can actually live without religion or like a blind faith in something? I think it's possible. We haven't seen it yet in history, so it's hard to tell. But I would like to think that one day we will, grow out of these like superstitious beliefs.
It's very likely, like, well, I don't know, like faith-based belief is like believing without evidence type of thing. Heuristics are a very big problem with the human brain, but like without God, I believe there's been a time period in human history in which we didn't technically have like a God, at least how we define it now. But as far as belief without evidence, we're pretty wired for heuristics. So I don't know if we can dismantle that. I think everyone at some point believes something without evidence.
Hopefully, as a society, we can grow out of these superstitions of our youth. As far as humanity is concerned, we are still just barely out of our diapers, so to speak. Alex O says the Bible does not teach that God commands Israelites to eat their own children. That's true. I didn't say that God commands the Israelites to eat their own children, but it is a punishment that he enacts upon them for their disobedience. Now, we got our first guest for the day. We have here, let's take a look at Michael. Michael, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can move on to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Michael, are you at least 18 years old?
Okay. Yes, I am.
Number 2, are you a Bible believer?
I believe in the Old Testament. I believe in the Torah. I would have a lot of questions about what belief entails. Is it belief in the historical sense? Is it belief in that it is truth in the sense of, I think it's a nuanced question to say, do you believe in the Torah?
Well,
and yes,
do you believe
the answer is yes.
Okay, so you believe in the supernatural claims also?
Do I believe in the supernatural claims? They don't give issue with me. I don't necessarily spend time pondering the supernatural claims. They never really irked me to think about that, because I do find, well, actually they have. I shouldn't say they never did. It's in the past, and my kind of struggle to find a way to look at the Bible and understand its relationship to me. I did struggle with the science versus religion question. I read a fantastic book by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, whose book was written in response to Richard Dawkins' The God Delusion. It was called The Great Partnership of Science and Religion, and that had a tremendous impact on my perspective of the relationship between science and religion. As far as the supernatural claims,
yeah, we'll get into all that in a little bit. But question number 3: How much of the Hebrew Bible have you read?
I would say Genesis and Exodus I've read very deeply and detailed, and Numbers. pretty detailed, like pretty closely, but I've read Genesis maybe 10, 15, 20 times.
Real quick, and
And
real,
that one speaks to me the most.
real quick in the comment section, Alex O says he won. I would ask you, Alex, in the comment section to read Jeremiah 19 verse 9. Anyways, and then final question: what pronouns do you prefer to go by, Michael?
He, him.
All right, Michael, he, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. Tell me, Michael, why should I believe in the Bible?
Believe. First, let's I would backtrack. I would say believe. For me,
Do you
I have
do
the
you
framework of looking.
do you
Sorry?
think that it's true? Like, do you think that it's like
Yes.
objectively okay?
True, yes. True.
Yeah, so as
Now there's
I-
historical truth,
So
and then
as it
there's
currently
moral truth. There's
So as it currently stands,
Mhm.
I don't believe that the Hebrew Bible is mostly historical. I think mostly it's mythic with a little bit of history and it thrown in there. And then I don't believe in the supernatural
I'm
claims.
with
So
you
I'm
on
asking.
that.
So you also think that the majority of the Hebrew
Yes.
Bible, like,
I
I don't think the Exodus happened. I don't think the Jewish people were ever in slavery in Egypt. They were mostly probably just a Canaanite sect. They were polytheists at
well,
first.
I don't. Well, there was. I mean, if we're looking at the historical type of evidence, there was a group called the Apiru or the Habiru, which is like Hebrew, and they were referred to in the Egyptian times. There was a stele, like
Whoa.
a Egyptian pharaoh
What?
stele.
Well,
Mhm.
let's not jump the gun. Why should we think that the Apiru are Hebrews?
I mean, the claim is based off of etymological similarity, and
So the words sound similar,
that is just one
but
thing. There's also
do, do we have any evidence that these
Mhm.
words are actually linked together, etymologically speaking, or is it just that they sound similar to one another? Because all of the data would seem to suggest that the Israelites were just another group of Canaanites. They had the same language, they worshipped the same gods, they lived in the same region.
I'm not sure where you have retrieved that data from.
So let's take a
Um,
look. Let's start with the language then. If I take a look at ancient Hebrew, how familiar are you with Paleo Hebrew?
like the script,
Yeah.
the script of Paleo Hebrew. I kind of know a little bit about it. I've seen it a few times.
All right. So here we
I
got a
know that
picture. We got a picture here of the Paleo Hebrew script. Okay. And if we compare
Mhm.
that to the Canaanite alphabet, what do we find? We find that they used the same exact alphabet. When we take a look at their languages,
Yeah, if you look at the names, there. Sorry, go ahead.
who is the chief god of the Canaanites?
Sorry, repeat that. You cut out a little
Who
bit. Maybe my service is not excellent.
who is the chief god of the Canaanites?
I think there was a mention of El. Maybe is that what you're thinking about? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
he's called
I do.
he's
Yeah.
called El. He's also called
Yes.
El
Mhm.
Olam.
And I think
El-
what the Torah.
I think there might be a little bit of a lag here. I need to check. I need to check this. Here, I'm going to count to 5.
Yes, there is.
When
I'm gonna turn.
yeah. Here, I'm going to count to 5, and when I
Okay,
get
is
to
this better?
we'll find out. I'm going to count to 5, and when I get to 4, you say 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
That's too big of a gap. But I don't think we're going to be, this is not going to really work. I'm going to need you to come back when your service is like a little bit better so that that we'll be able to not like talk past each other. It'll make the conversation a lot smoother.
I hear you.
All right. Shalom, bud.
All right. Shalom. Thanks.
Ichthus says he's using Jesus Wi-Fi. No, he was using Sinai Wi-Fi. Sinai Wi-Fi is what we call it. Jesus Wi-Fi would be a lot better because it's actually up in the clouds, you know. Sinai Wi-Fi is in the desert. But everyone, make sure you are tapping that screen, sharing the live with those you love, with those you hate, with your friends and with your enemies. Make sure to tap that screen like Jonathan wanted to tap King David. God condemns such things. It's sorcery. Oh, by the way, for the person in the comment section who said that God didn't like cause like cannibalism, but rather that it was just a natural repercussion of sin, I would suggest you look at Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. If we take a look at the text,
They love to say that God is the most powerful. He made everything, all this other stuff, except bad things. But like I don't understand that their God is actually the weakest God I've ever heard of when they're trying to get out of the horrific things that the Bible says. Just the weakest being. Can't do anything, can't change anything.
so when we look at Jeremiah chapter 19, let's say what God actually says to the people of Israel. Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9, it says, "And I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and all flesh shall eat the flesh of their neighbors in the siege and in the distress with which their enemies and those who seek their life afflict them." And when we look at the Hebrew, "For I will make them eat Baha'at kletim," it is in the hifil stem, which, if you can take a look here, the hifil usually expresses the causative action of a kal. Hifil is often used to form verbs from nouns and adjectives. In other words, it's indicating to us that this isn't passive. This is God actively causing the children of Israel to eat the flesh of their children. But we got Michael returning here. Hopefully Michael's Wi-Fi or a service is a little bit better. Michael, let's do the test again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count to 5. When I get to 4, you say 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
That's better. I think we can make that.
Awesome.
We can make that work. Where did we leave off,
Okay,
Michael?
great.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I actually, yeah, I think a good pathway. What you just spoke about is a good pathway to discuss like how I understand God and causation in general. When you say God will cause them to do that, I think that
that's separate from what we were talking about. What we were talking about is the fact that all the data seems to point to the idea that the Israelites were just another group of Canaanites. Now, as we've seen, they shared the same language and alphabet. They even share the same name for the same deity. The God of Israel is called, not only is he called Yahweh, but he's called El and El Olam, El Shaddai, El Elyon. These are all names for the chief deity of the Canaanite pantheon. And even the Hebrew Bible refers to the Israelite language as the language of Canaan.
Absolutely. I mean, Abraham was in Canaan. He was in the land of Canaan, Ur Kasdim, and they ended up in Egypt through Joseph being sold in by his brothers into servitude with the Egyptians, and then when there was a famine, eventually the brothers and the family migrated to Egypt and moved to the land of Goshen, and
Yes,
that is how they ended up settling in Egypt.
Yes,
and
this is the myth. This is the myth.
Exile.
Yes, this is the myth of the origin of the nation of Israel. However, I must note that Ur of the Kasdim is not in Canaan. That's in Mesopotamia. between the two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. The claim is that Abraham comes from a distant region, Ur of Kasdim, which is in Mesopotamia, and then settles in Canaan. But no, as far as we can tell, the Israelites are native to Canaan. It's weird that Abraham supposedly speaks Hebrew, even though Hebrew is just a Canaanite dialect, and we don't see
Where
any
does it
evidence.
say that Abraham spoke Hebrew? I think that the Hebrew alphabet is basically evolved from the Canaanite. If you actually look at those letters, I can show you some.
When we read
some
the book of
evidence for
Genesis,
that.
what is God?
No,
Genesis 22.
the text.
In Genesis 22, what does God call the mountain? I mean, what does Abraham call the mountain that he almost sacrifices Isaac on?
Not Bet El. Is it Bet El?
Yahweh Yireh.
Right, God will see.
Yeah, and no, that's not, that's a different place. That's Roel is God will see. Yahweh Yireh is Yahweh will supply.
Yireh means to see.
You
will see.
Here, let's take a look at the text of Genesis 22.
Bet is house, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bethel is house of God.
Yeah. The only reason I know that is because of Bethlehem. It translates to two
House
different
of
things
bread.
in two different things in Arabic: house of meat and then house of bread.
Right, because lachme is in Arabic means meat, and lechem means bread.
Although, fun fact, everyone, in all likelihood, it probably was originally a reference to the god Lachmu. Beit Lachmu is the house of the god Lachmu. Now, let me take a look. Abraham out of heaven a second time, and he said, "I have." Where are we at? Abraham said unto his men, "Yeah. My God will." Yeah, Abraham said, "My God will provide." And Abraham called the name of the place Yahweh Yireh, as it is said to this day, in the mount of Yahweh it shall it shall be seen. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Yireh means he shall see. But anyways, that's a Hebrew phrase. Yahweh Yireh is Hebrew. Abraham names the place in a Hebrew language.
Yes, and if you actually pull back up those letters from the Canaanite script, I am very into linguistics, and I can actually show you some proof that the Hebrew alphabet is basically the same as the Canaanite alphabet. So there's no discrepancy saying that they were speaking the Canaanite language, because there were many Semitic languages in the area. There were Akkadian, there was Phoenician, Hebrew.
So you agree with me
Arabic.
that the Hebrew language was a Canaanite dialect. Do you agree with me that, as far as the data is concerned,
dispute anything?
Well, it's part of the data. It's part of the whole picture. They also worshipped the same chief deity. Who is God not called by Abraham El?
So what I believe, I've seen many examples of this in the Torah, is that, for example, the story of Noah originates from the Epic of Gilgamesh, which in Tablet 11, it speaks about the flood. And I think that what the Torah does is it takes the pre-existing myths of the region, of the area, including Egypt, and it turns them on their head in order to what would be the word, as a form of iconoclasm, as a way of destroying idols, and to bringing people to the creator of the world as God. Also, the name Yahweh was not revealed to anyone until Moses.
Well, Genesis would disagree with that. I mean, what did we just?
The text itself uses you as the reader, as the third person reader.
No, not me as the third person.
In the text.
In the text, what does Abraham call the mountain that he almost sacrifices Isaac on?
Right, that's a good point. But I do know that the name of God that Moses had revealed to him was the 4-letter name, which actually signifies is, was, will be. Hayahoveh Yihiyeh.
Vayikra Avraham Shem Hamakom Hahu Yahweh Yireh. Abraham knows God's name as being Yahweh, as the Tetragrammaton.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
yet,
interesting.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for this. There's a really simple reason for this. Is because the Torah was originally 4 distinct traditions that were brought together by the Israelites at a later time. There was one tradition amongst the ancient Israelites where the patriarchs do know God's name is Yahweh, which is the J source. And then there's another tradition called the E source, where they don't know him as Yahweh, but they only know him as El. And the E source is what's found there in Exodus, where God says to Moses, the patriarchs only knew me as El Shaddai. But this is just a contradiction, because the fact that the redactors of the compilers of the Torah weren't super careful in their bringing together of the texts.
So I'm open to the possible. I think that the instance here of God will see, the entire dialogue from the third person point of view is referring to God as Yahweh,
it's Abraham's speech, it's not narrative, it's Abraham's speech.
Abraham called it. Yes, I know. He was, so it's the referent is the same as referring to God, but whether I'm not going to try to pull I think that the text uses, I know that it uses the word Yahweh throughout Genesis, although the name was not revealed until Moses. So I think
but
that
it clearly
may be
was, because Abraham uses it. And it's not just Abraham, but Isaac and Jacob, they also utilize the Tetragrammaton in their speech throughout Genesis.
So if I were to say in English, for instance, I named this place God Will See, and then it was written and recorded a few decades or centuries later, and the name was now translated into, by the writer of the Torah, would they say I called it God? Will they write God for the word that I used?
If they're recording accurately what you said.
They seem to.
But why is it not a translation?
The biggest issue that you have is that in the original Hebrew, El Shaddai is the name that gets translated into your English Bible as God. So we see different names for God all throughout the text, because the original Hebrew has it in these specific words for God. So this kind of explanation or apology out of this doesn't seem to make sense based on the manuscripts.
Yeah, so you'd have to provide some evidence, some hard evidence that Abraham didn't say Yahweh Yireh. And just saying that, well, Exodus says he didn't know the name. Well, that just demonstrates that there's a contradiction. That doesn't prove that Abraham didn't in fact say this. You would have to provide some manuscriptal evidence.
Fair.
A variation where I would say El Yireh.
Yes. So the approach that I would take to that, and if you want to call it apologetics, I think it's just a matter of understanding, transcription, the process of transcription, especially between languages. If this wasn't recorded at the moment that Abraham said it, then
we don't have a this isn't a transcription, because again, we first and foremost, we don't have any reason to think that this is a true story. We don't have any reason to think there was an Abraham and that someone is writing down what he said. Instead, we have multiple traditions of a mythic figure named Abraham. And some of those mythic traditions record Abraham as using the name El, and other mythic traditions record him as using the name Yahweh.
What makes a lot more sense to me
what
is that
tradition? Sorry.
It
Go
makes
ahead.
a lot more sense to me that they they worship multiple gods. They were a polytheistic religion who then during the Babylonian exile switched to a monolatristic religion. In fact, it makes more sense given the use of this throughout the text. I mean, you look at Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 15, you look at how Exodus 6.
3,
Now
yeah,
I'm
6,
getting
3.
my 6 is 3, yeah, 6 3. Are like I see more evidence for this version of thought in that there are multiple sources. Actually, we know there are multiple sources. That seems to make more sense when you put it all together than the story that you're giving me.
Are you familiar
So-
with the documentary hypothesis, Michael?
I have heard about that. I actually don't agree with that at all, and I've seen people trying to explain. They see different narrative styles, and it seems like a very loose claim to me to be able to. I do
It's
not
not.
see that in the
It's
in the
not. It's
text
not.
myself.
It's not loose whatsoever. It's like it's very substantiated by the data. Like, for example, who sold Joseph into slavery in Egypt?
So there's some commentaries that say it was the Midianites, and some say it was the brothers, because the text says that the brothers were going to sell him. Judah's idea was to sell him, and then it says that the Midianites sold him. So actually, their intention was to sell
Well,
him,
what does the
and then
text say?
they ended up. The text says that the Midianites sold them, and the brothers intended to sell him, and then the Midianites ended up selling him.
The Midianites?
I believe so.
Let's
Or
take a
the
look.
Ishmaelites, sorry.
Well,
The Midianites
there's a-
sold them to the Ishmaelites.
Well, no, there's a reason why you're confused here. It's not your fault. The problem is that there are two different traditions in the ancient Israelite account as to who sold Joseph and when. But come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother in our flesh, and his brethren were content. Then there
So the
passed
brothers were
by.
going to sell them to the Ishmaelites, and then the Midianites actually sold them to the Ishmaelites.
Yes.
Exactly as
So-
you said.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Then there passed by Midianite merchantmen, and they drew up and lifted Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. So it's the Ishmaelites who buy Joseph and then it's the Ishmaelites for 24 pieces, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. So who brought Joseph into
Mhm.
Egypt?
The Midianites. No, the Ishmaelites.
Okay, now when we go to the 2 chapters later, it says, what do we see? And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, and an Egyptian, bought him from the hands of Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. Where is the passage? 1 second. There's another passage.
Brothers
Oh yeah,
intended
it's
to sell him.
it's
And then the
37. My
Midianites
bad.
actually sold it. This is written about by Rushbaum, who's
Well,
goes into
the
detail.
it's the Ishmaelites. Well, who sold? Because it says in Exodus, Genesis 37, verse 36, that and verse 36. Let's see, here it is. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar,
Mhm.
an officer of Pharaoh's
Yes.
and captain of the guard. So who sold him
The
to Egypt?
Midianites. The Midianites sold him to the Ishmaelites.
No, the Midianites sold him
That's
to
what it
Egypt.
said originally.
Well, yeah, no.
No, they sold him to the Ishmaelites, and
What?
the Ishmaelites brought him to Egypt.
No. It says, "Veha
Midianim
Midianim makru
Oto
Oto
el
al Mitzrayim."
Mitzrayim.
So
Yes.
it was the Midianites who sold him into Egypt.
They sold him. That's exactly what it said earlier. The
To who?
Midianites sold him to the Ishmaelites.
No, it
into
doesn't.
Egypt.
What? No, it doesn't say that. And the Midianites sold him
Machru
into
means
Egypt.
sold. Machru
Uh-huh.
means sold. And
sold
the
him
Midianites
unto
were
Egypt.
the ones. They were the ones who sold him onto Egypt. The ones who they sold him to, who
That's what it
brought
says
him
earlier.
into Egypt, were the
That's why it said-
Ishmaelites.
That's why it says earlier in the passage. You need to read what it says in verse 36. It doesn't say, and the Midianites sold him to the Ishmaelites who sold him to Egypt. It says, and the Midianites.
No, the
sold him-
Ishmaelites did not sell him into Egypt. The Ishmaelites bought him from the Midianites and brought him into Egypt.
You know, the Ishmaelites and the Egyptians are two different people, right?
Yes,
They live in different
Ishmaelites-
different regions.
the Ishmaelites bought Joseph from
And
the
the
Midianites.
and the Egyptians bought Joseph from the Ishmaelites, right?
Yes.
So
Correct.
they
He
didn't.
was
So
sold
the
twice.
Egyptian. So he didn't. So the Egyptians didn't buy them from the Midianites.
He was sold El Mitzrayim, to Mitzrayim. So the Ishmaelites brought him to Mitzrayim, to Egypt.
They sold him unto Egypt. The
Mitzrayim.
Midianites
Yes.
sold him unto Egypt. But
That's correct.
the Midianites didn't sell him unto Egypt. It was the Ishmaelites.
The Machru Oto El Egypt means towards into Egypt.
Unto Egypt.
Yes. So the Midianites, that's precisely what we saw earlier. The Midianites sold
The co-
Joseph
the
to
cognitive
the Ishmaelites by the pit.
the
By the
cognitive
pit.
the
No, listen.
cognitive the cognitive dissonance,
Dissonance?
here. Okay. If
Yes,
I
I think
s-
that you're
if,
having it.
if I sell Ashland this
Mhm.
phone, okay, and then Ashland
Mhm.
sells you
Oh,
that phone.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Okay. If I sell Ashland
What?
this phone and then Ashland sells you this phone, who did you buy the phone from?
I bought it from Ashland. You're missing
You
the
did-
critical point. If you sell Ashland the phone,
wait. You didn't buy the phone from me?
yes, I did. I
How?
completely agree with. Because if he sells it to you and then you sell it to me, I bought it from you.
Oh, I thought you said you sold it. Oh, okay. I apologize.
So if
I
the
had-
Ishmaelites,
So, but
so if the Midianites sell Joseph to the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites sell Joseph to the Egyptians, from whom
Mhm.
did the Egyptians buy Joseph?
they bought him from the Ishmaelites, correct?
Okay,
So
and
I'm
not the
you're-
Midianites.
Let me make your analogy. No, I'm going to explain to you the analogy, and I will show you why this text is not inconsistent. You sell a phone to Ashland.
Mhm.
Ashland now travels. I don't know. Let's say you're in California. You sell the phone to Ashland in California. Ashland now comes to me in New York and sells me the phone in New York. You were the one who sold you sold the phone into New York.
No, I sold
You
it to
were the
Ashland.
one who made the original sale
I sold it to
of
Ashland.
the phone. You made the sale of the phone and Ashland was the one who brought it into New York.
Yeah, so you didn't
So
buy
when
it
it
from
says
me. You bought it from
Machru Oto El
Ashland.
Mitzrayim, the text says Machru Oto El Mitzrayim. V'hamidyanim Machru Oto El
Yes,
Mitzrayim.
yes. The Midianites
sold
sold
him.
to Egypt,
call me-
but they didn't.
Not to Egypt. Not
Unto
to
Egypt.
Mitzrayim. That would be
Unto
that would be
Egypt.
La Mitzrim. La
Okay,
Mitzrim
unto
would be
Egypt.
to the
They
Egyptians.
sold him. They sold him unto
onto
Egypt.
the land of
But-
Egypt.
Oh, it doesn't say Eretz Mitzrayim. It just says Mitzrayim. But
Well, it says
but-
Mitzrayim. That
Now,
El Mitzrayim is
so in
implying
other
the
words,
land of Egypt.
in other words, okay, did I sell my phone unto you, or did I sell my phone unto Ashland?
You sold your phone unto New York.
No, no,
Yes.
no. I sold
That's
it
what it
unto
said.
Ashland.
That's the verbatim parallel.
No, it's not. It's not.
Why is that
You're
not?
you're just engaging in cognitive dissonance. Is all this is going
No,
on here.
I'm literally
No,
reading it
if
verbatim. You can let's
No.
replace the word
But the
Midyanim with
But the mid. No, we're
with
not
you.
okay. And Dalton sold it. In this case, it'll be the phone unto
Mm-hmm.
Ashland.
New York. New
No,
York. No.
not New York. No, because
Mitzrayim.
you're no, because
Yes.
no. Stop saying
Mitzrayim
New
is
York.
the
This stop
land.
saying
Mitzrim.
Here.
Okay.
It's not you. I mean, it's not New York. I'm selling it to Ashland, and Ashland is selling it to you.
But by the way,
Okay.
if this is gonna make the comparison, then I would have been the bringer to New York. I would have been the seller to New York, anyways. So like,
Yeah, I would have said
that
the
wouldn't
Ishmaelites
that
sold
wouldn't
it
have
unto.
mattered.
Yeah, if it would be the Ishmaelites sold it unto Egypt if it meant to if that's what it simply meant, not the Midianites, because the Midianites didn't sell it unto Egypt. The Ishmaelites did. All right, you can unmute yourself now. So you guys, it's not
Okay.
just Christians
So
who
let-
engage in this kind of thing.
So let's talk about the word Egypt right there. It says El Mitzrayim. Okay. Does that mean to you the Egyptians or the land of Egypt? Because I will tell you as a fact, Mitzrim is how you say Egyptians. Mitzrayim is
I know.
referring to the land of Egypt.
All
So
right. So
Vehamidianim machru oto El Mitzrayim
okay,
means that the
then
Midianites sold
we'll
him
make it
unto
more
the
accurate.
land of
Then
Egypt.
here I'll rechange the analogy. Then I sold the phone unto Ashland, and Ashland sold it unto New York, but I didn't sell it unto New York. Ashland did.
You sent the phone on the way to Egypt via
No,
Ashland.
no, you
Yeah,
no, you
on the way
no,
to New
no, no,
York
no.
via
You would
Ashland.
have to demonstrate that the Midianites intended to sell them to Egypt.
Am I like a
Why does the
schmuck
intent
dealer in this
matter?
story? Like why am I having all these phones? That's the part I'm wondering of this entire story.
You would have
Am
to
I
demonstrate
AT&T?
that the Midianites intended to have Joseph sent to Egypt.
The Midianites sold him to a band of travelers who then transported Joseph unto Egypt.
Did the Midianites
And that
intend for
seems-
Joseph? Did the Midianites intend for Joseph to end up in Egypt, or were they only concerned with the selling of
if it
Joseph to
was
Ishmael?
If the text were to say the Midianim brought Joseph unto Egypt, it does not say that. It says the Midianim sold Joseph into Egypt.
But they didn't.
That means that they were not the ones who
But
brought
they didn't.
him.
But they didn't. They
They
sold
did.
them unto
They
the
did not
Ishmaelites.
bring him. The
They didn't sell-
Ishmaelites brought
They
him.
didn't sell him. No, they sold him unto the Ishmaelites, not unto the land of Egypt. It was the
They
Ishmaelites.
sold him unto the Ishmaelites who were.
You need to stop this. You're looking. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing on your part. No, you are bending yourself into pretzels in order to make this text work when the consensus of the scholarship is siding with me on this point. It's simply just a contradiction. Deal with it. The best Jewish scholars who are more like data driven over dogmatically driven would agree with me on this. Now, and it's just simply a contradiction. You're trying your
Let's say
hardest to make it not a contradiction.
No, I'm genuinely not. I actually work in I retail. I buy things from China, right? So if I buy something from China, and then I sell it in the US, right? The Chinese sold it into America, but I sold it.
That's because the Chinese intended. We know the intention that the Chinese manufacturer intends for you to sell it to an American consumer. We don't know from the text that the Midianites intended to sell Joseph into Egypt. All we know is that they intended to sell Joseph to the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites intended to sell him unto Egypt.
So I don't think intent matters. I think if China sold it to me and I decided to import it to the UK, for instance, then that's my decision. Where I decide to bring the goods.
Then the Chinese never.
But they still sold it onto the UK.
Nope, you did.
If I shipped things to the UK.
You did. No, you did. Not them.
I don't think that's black and white.
They sent it to you. It is. They sent it to you. And they didn't send it to the UK.
I bought it. They didn't send it to me. I bought it from them.
Okay, you bought it from them, but they didn't.
I have a question. Where does this stop? Like, say it's like a thrift store that gets like resold. Did like grandma sell her used shirt to like 3 different people, or is this just like, does it stop at the first one when it fits your narrative, or does like I don't know, the used furniture that I have that's had 4 different owners, did like this like 100-year-old guy sell it to me who's dead?
I think the key thing is the movement from Canaan into Egypt.
No, did a dead person did a dead person sell did a dead person sell this artifact unto an individual?
Yeah, I want to know. I've got some old furniture. It'd be cool to say I bought it from a dead guy.
You bought it it's not who you bought it from, it's where it was taken to, where it was imported from the person. So Joseph was bought by the Midianites in
You did.
Canaan.
You stopped. You heard how dumb this sounds now, don't you?
No, I lost my train of thought. I'm starting from the beginning here. Joseph was bought in Canaan by the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Midianites.
Yep.
The
Mhm.
We heard.
Midianites. Sorry, he was not bought. He was taken from the pit, not bought by the Midianites. He was taken from the pit and sold to the Ishmaelites next to the pit
So
in
if it
Egypt. So that's the
happens,
source.
so after so
And then
say after Egypt, he's sold to like I don't know who else. Is it still the first dude that is it still that one? If they like resell him, is this like how the market works?
so if you are now
Does this
on the
apply to
road,
schmugs too? Like, did I buy my
I
schmugs from a? Did I purchase mine from like El Chapo? I don't know.
I want to clarify here. Look, they were a band of travelers, the Ishmaelites. They were on the road. They were going towards Egypt, and the
Whoa,
Midianites
did the Midianites
sold
they were
him.
going to know they were going to Egypt?
Whether or not they knew does not change whether they sold him to people who brought him into Egypt.
Okay, but the Midianites didn't sell him unto Egypt. The Ishmaelites did.
They sold him. They sold him into a caravan that was transported into Egypt,
you sound
which
immensely
happened to
silly.
be owned by the
Michael,
Ishmaelites.
Michael, you do know how silly you sound right now, right?
I genuinely think textually this is not a discrepancy. I
The
hear that
consensus.
you believe
I know you.
the
You're in the
consensus
minority
of
here.
scholars, which is why I don't agree with the documentary hypothesis. I think they're trying to look at it and in a way to discredit things.
No,
they're not.
what
They're not.
you
Okay,
could
no.
also do?
Wait. Stop with this conspiracy theory bullshit. The consensus of scholars are not going out of their way to discredit the Torah. They're just coming to the text and they're treating it the same way they are treating every other work from the ancient Near East. They're not giving the Torah special privileges. So when they come across textual problems, they face it head on the way they would do with any other ancient Near Eastern text. It has nothing to do with the desire to discredit the Torah. The Torah discredits itself is the problem.
So you trust that every single person who is writing in support of the documentary hypothesis has complete objective lens.
Well, that's why we have the peer review process to check those biases.
Michael, also, like the argument makes sense. The other, I'm purchasing furniture from a fucking dead guy, so I'm gonna take the one that.
Why the dead guy? I'm not seeing.
It's okay, Michael. It's okay. We know things go over your head.
Because 100 years ago, some jackass sold his chair to some lady, and then
it was immediate though. You're putting a time delay that did not exist. In the text. It was immediate. They sold him to people on a caravan.
And the dead guy sold the chair to a woman, and then 50 years later, she sells it to a Goodwill, and then it gets sold to Ashland.
But the time gap.
They
literally sold him onto a caravan.
If you go back, a reductio ad absurdum. If it applies to this, we can take it and apply it to another hypothetical situation. And if it narrows down to absurdity, it's not very likely true. Now, is it?
I don't think it narrows down to absurdity. Can we go back to the text where Joseph was sold by the Midianites, like actually by the pit, so we can actually look at that?
Yeah, earlier in the text before it said the other thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, let's take a look. Let's see. Oh wait, Genesis 37 verse. This is interesting. Wait a minute. Genesis 37.
So Megan brought up actually, if this chair was originally the oak trees, are we including? I'm just sorry. I have so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see.
If I saw some people that were traveling in their car and I had a phone and I sold the people in the car traveling the phone and they said, oh, even if they didn't say we're going to California, right? They were wherever they decided to head. I sold the phone to the people in the car and they brought it to California. I sold the phone unto California.
No, you didn't. You sold it. No, you didn't. You did not, and your intention was not to sell it to the people of California. Your intention was to sell it to the
No.
people in the car.
Okay,
And the people
there's
in the
your
car.
mistranslate. You said the people of California. The text does not say the people of Egypt. It says El Mitzrayim.
Oh my God!
The land of
Okay.
Egypt.
Wait.
That's what I was pointing out before.
Did a hunk of earth buy Joseph, or was it people that
No,
bought
the
Joseph?
Midianites.
No.
The Midianites
In Egypt,
sold, right, the Ishmaelite.
When it says that they sold him unto Egypt, did the land of Egypt, like the physical earth, get up, pull out its purse, and buy Joseph? Or when it says that they sold him unto Egypt, that this refers to the people of Egypt? Because I don't know if you're aware of this, but real estate doesn't buy jack shit. People buy jack shit.
I'm with you, but they sold him into Egypt.
Yeah,
The same way that you can say that a slave from Africa
Potiphar.
Potiphar. How about
Potiphar.
Let's talk about slavery. Let's talk about slavery here, okay?
No, we're not moving on to another.
No, I'm not moving on.
About
The African American who was sold by a person in Africa into America. Did the person who sold him in Africa sell him into America? I would say yes.
They sold him to Americans. They sold him to American. And by the way, if some random African king sells one of his people into slavery, he sold them to the slave traders, and the slave traders sold them to some Americans. Not the other way around. Well, actually, in this case,
they sold him to Americans, but the
slave
Africans
traders
sold him into America. The slave traders were the ones who sold him to the Americans.
Well,
but
actually,
the
in this
Africans sold him into America.
Actually, in this case, it wouldn't be accurate because the Ishmaelites and the Egyptians are not the same people group. So it would be like if an African king sells one of his people to a slave trader, and the slave trader sells him to another people group somewhere else. The African king had no intention of
referring to people. The Africans sold him into America, and the Americans.
Shut up. America doesn't buy anything. Americans buy things. The Ishmaelites sold Joseph to people. People are the only individuals out there who buy shit. The land of Egypt itself cannot make any purchases. People make purchases. When the text says that they sold him unto Egypt, this means that they sold him unto the Egyptian people, because the land of Egypt cannot buy jack shit. Do you think that the land is cognate, that has sentience, and that the land is able to make purchases of people?
Absolutely not. And that's not what the text says. It says that they sold him into Egypt.
And what does Egypt refer to? And what is he? And what? Yes. So they sold him.
They sold him into the land of Egypt.
When the Ishmaelites got there, did they just drop him off at the border and go, "Well, Egypt bought you," or did someone individually make a purchase of Joseph from the Ishmaelites?
Yes, someone made a purchase of Joseph from the Ishmaelites.
So he was sold to an Egyptian.
Yes, he was sold to an Egyptian.
So when the text says that that Midian sold him unto Egypt, first off, not true, but Egypt there refers to Egyptians.
It refers to Egypt. He was sold unto Egypt. It is not to it. First of all, if it's
I'm done with you, Michael.
Well, guys, it's official. I bought my other desk from a dead guy. According to Michael.
One of these days, guys, I'm going to implement some sort of system where if you send me, in the future, if a conversation goes on for 20 minutes at the very minimum, and the guest is pissing you off as the watchers, feel free to send a super chat, $20, saying kick guest, and I'll kick him in the future if that's too much for you guys.
And you can send me 25 and I'll just troll them the entire time.
Gee whiz, what a wild thing. All right, I'm going to read the next super chat.
GeForce with the $51.83 WGForce. Very much needed. Appreciate that, buddy. Love you, Dalton. Gotta do this to make two people in chat smile. It's weird, but it's become a fun thing. So,
I'm glad that there's an inside joke. that's running around that. Listen, if I watched Joel and Mezzo more often, I might understand the So reference. I know it's from their channel, but that's as far as it goes for me. You're lagging bad like your salvation. Fun fact, Christianos, I don't have salvation and no one does because your Jesus is dead. Feel free to call in and convince me otherwise.
Did ChatGPT write that? Where you like gotta say something witty in the comment section?
Yeah, Christiana, did you have ChatGPT write that for you? Because it's real shit.
Yeah, if it's just FYI, I've tried to get ChatGPT to be witty. It's not its forte. Let's just say.
Yeah, Christianos, your Jesus is dead, so he doesn't save anybody, including you. But you're more than welcome to call in and convince me otherwise. So everyone, make sure you're tapping that screen. Share the live with those you love, with those you hate, with your friends and with your enemies. And let's get the word out there and have some more interesting conversations. Hopefully, I keep saying hopefully we won't have another guest as numbnuts as the previous one. But every time I say that, the next one just goes on and does the same thing. So I don't have a lot of faith in a theist ability to cognitively be able to assess their book. At least not if they wanted to be if they want to be honest. Echad. Why did you send me the word echad, Christianos? How this random Jewish apocalyptic preacher from the first century is catching strays. I mean, hey, Jesus, it's Jesus' fault for putting himself out there. And you can't catch strays if you're dead. I don't Yachid, united? Why are you sending me random Hebrew words, Christianos? Yes, and Ashley Ash in the comment section says, let's get those likes to 25,000K. 25K. 25K. Yeah, everyone tap that screen because tapping is clapping. Same goes to you people, you wonderful, beautiful people over on the YouTube page. Tapping is clapping. And I love to see you guys clap me. Wait, what? Why does it have to be called Hebrew? Why can't we call it Shebrew? When I was in high school and I was still very religious, I had an idea for a coffee shop. I was going to call it Hebrew's Kosher Coffee. It was going to be a place where I sold like kosher coffee, but all the names of the coffee would have like puns attributed to them. Like I had one called an idea for one called a Jehovah Java, for example, stuff like that. I don't make fun of me too much. I was going to sell Bibles and Tallits. Yeah. What happens if hell has crows and bats, guys? What?
If hell has crows and bats, corvids are amazing. They're extremely intelligent species, and bats are pretty cool too. I don't know why
intelligent people end up in hell. Intelligent people end up in hell, so it makes sense that a corvid would end up in hell. They're too smart for God.
I guarantee it, right? All the scientists, they're all going to hell. There's going to be air conditioning. There's going to be a mini bar. There's going to be like they're going to have this place figured the F out. All right. So I want to be there. I actually believe in stuff. I'm just actively working towards it. It's a long game for me, guys.
Here it is. I was looking for this and I couldn't find it, but here you go, guys. This is the composition of the Pentateuch by Joel Baden, and literally the opening introduction to this book, where it talks about the documentary hypothesis. The first case study in here is the sale of Joseph, Genesis 37, and it gives you each version of the story in the original Hebrew. And then Joel goes into, and then also later into English in the next page. And then Joel goes into talking about all the discrepancies between the two stories. It's a really good book. It's got more than just, there are tons of examples of literary doublets and discrepancies in the Pentateuch. And if you want to learn more about that, get Joel's book, or you can just go online and watch him on MythVision and other like such channels. He's got lots of stuff out there. Brando says hell is going to be lit as fuck. All the cool people will be there. Ain't that truth? If Jacob wrestled Yahweh and the angel, then evangelists believe Jacob was greater than Yahweh and Jesus. I mean, yes. Well, the evangelists, I don't know what the evangelists would have thought, but the authors of the Pentateuch certainly thought that Jacob was able to overpower Yahweh, and Yahweh ended up having to do a dirty trick and dislocate Jacob's hip bone in order to just win. Yeah. Originally in Genesis, it's Yahweh who's wrestling Jacob, and then later in the book of Hosea, the author, some later redactors of the book of Hosea, change it to be the angel of Yahweh wrestling with Jacob. The notorious B.I.G. said he was going to hell, so I'm looking forward to seeing him perform. Hell yeah. Gangster's Paradise? Much? That's what hell is. Spending most our life living in a gangster's. As a kid, I thought it was pair of dice. Living in a gangster's pair of dice.
Have I ever told you that you're a little strange, Dalton?
Every day.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure, you know.
Yeah. That's not a song. Oh, that's not from Notorious B.I.G. Gangster's Paradise. I could have swore. Here, wait a minute. Guys, I'm culturally illiterate. Who wrote?
Is that Dr. Dre? I don't know. I don't know either, guys. I don't know.
At least I'm not alone in not knowing here. Coolio. Oh, when y'all were saying Coolio in the comments, I thought y'all were just saying cool joke.
I didn't even see that.
Embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Guys, guess what? Guess what my skin tone is? Just guess.
Guys, isn't Eminem just the best? But no, but let's go check. I also like KSI, his music. Oh, pack it up. That's enough for the night. That's funny.
Someone says this is the whitest stream, live stream. Listen, I joke that I'm so white I glow in the dark, like legitimately so.
Aaron says W. Duncan.
I do know that Weird Al Yankovic. Am I saying that right?
Yankovic.
Wrote a Yankovic. Is he Jewish?
He might be Polish. He might be Polish.
Polish. I think. Okay. Anyways, he wrote a parody of that song. That's how white I am.
Y'all making fun of me for liking KSI's music. KSI's got good music. I find it enjoyable.
Who is KSI?
He's a YouTuber. He is the guy who does the Prime drinks. But he also makes music.
Yeah. Now I know. Guys, who makes the Prime drinks?
Never mind. All right. We got here.
Oh yeah, we're
That's
I
Trump.
was read it because I was looking.
That's Trump failed. Ha ha. Love the username. With the $2. Mistaking Biggie for Coolio. Cancelled.
Guys, listen. I listen mostly to Sabrina Carpenter, and if that gives y'all an indication of like the kind of music I listen to.
That's honestly fair. It was a nice career for you, Dalton, but wrap it up real quick.
It's funny. I didn't even get around to showing Michael the fact that Yahweh was the consort of Asherah, just like El was. I got too caught up in the fact that his book is complete, that he couldn't handle the contradictions in his book. But yeah, here guys, this is a a classic photo of Yahweh with his consort Asherah, the goddess Asherah. Yeah. So
Wait,
there you
is
go.
is that the God Peen one? I can't see.
Yes,
it
it is
is.
it is the God Peen one. Wait a minute. Yeah, right there. Yahweh is portrayed here, arms interlocked with Asherah, and he's got just the biggest dongle right here. And above, you can't see it really all that well here in the script, but it says in the Hebrew of Yahweh and his Asherah, referring to his wife.
That's to the knee. I mean, is it like the same with boobs? Like, do you get back problems from that?
I mean, according to the Hebrew text, Yahweh had 70 kids. So, good for him, I suppose. He knew what to do with that thing. Before the divorce, of course. Latham Hem says, that's a threat. Yeah. Let's see. That's just a third leg at that point. It's safe to say Dalton was never a no-limit soldier. What does that mean? What's a no-limit soldier?
It's a soldier without limits, of course. We all know what that is.
Yahweh, king of the dongs. I mean, it would look like it, right? You couldn't sit on the toilet without getting wet. You sweet summer child, never change, Duncan, never change. I'll Google it later. But we got another comment
here from Trumpfield House. So with the two Sabrina Carpenter on the playlist, super canceled.
Don't you dare disrespect that queen. We love Sabrina Carpenter around here. I'm listening to Sabrina Carpenter all the time. Yeah.
Dalton likes more girly pop than I do.
My favorite song, my absolute favorite song to dance to, this is some Dalton lore for you guys, is Fantasy by Mariah Carey. I will always dance whenever Fantasy by Mariah Carey plays. I love that song to bits.
It's better than what I do. And torture Elias by putting on the Blue Danbu. Oh my god. Blue Danbu. I can't talk. And twerking to it. No.
Brianna says on my life. Yeah, what the fuck? That's great. LOL. Oh god. Just hopped out of the shower, got some Taco Bell on the way, feeling good. How about you? Oh, that wasn't directed towards me. I was like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? I'm the colonel of the motherfucking tank. How old is Dalton? I think I'm going to throw another shoe at him. In 1 month's time, I will be turning 30. That's the age. And when we have another super chat
here at Ben Bloodworth with the $5. Dalton, the Bible guy, canceled. I only watch Dexter, the Holy Book Human now. And at GeForce with the $5, I fuck with Curly Pop and Degent Metal. Fight me.
I'm learning so many new phrases. What the hell is Degent Metal? What's Degent Metal? Pronounced gent. Is a style of progressive metal characterized by chunky, palm-muted, syncopated guitar riffs, slow-tuned, extended range guitars, complex rhythms. I'll have to give that a listen to later. February 11th? No, February 27th is when I'll be turning 30. But I probably won't be doing a live for my birthday this year, guys. I might, because I'm going on vacation for my birthday. My first ever vacation. I've never gone on vacation anywhere before, but I'm going to be going on a big boat in the middle into the ocean and maybe Mexico. And I've never seen the ocean before in my whole life, so I'm super excited about this. But maybe I'll do like a live the day before I leave, a birthday live for myself, so we can all hang out for my birthday, even though I won't, because I won't be for my birthday. I think it's
Are,
big
are
enough.
you going on April 14th by any chance?
April 14th.
Yeah.
Is that your birthday?
No.
Whose birthday was that? What's April 14th?
14, 19, 12, Dalton.
Oh, 1912. No, I'm not. No, okay, April 14th, 1912. No, I'm not going. And I'm not going to bring with me a beautiful redhead that I will draw naked, and then and then she'll steal the door from me.
Listen, they both could have fit on that door. I am convinced.
They could have. Ixia says, "I turn 49 soon. I'm already 1 foot in the grave." Nah, you've got another. I'm hoping another 50 years for you, Ichthyist. You're good to go, I bet. Where's Redhead? Liz, if you're out there, do you want to go with me on a boat, and you can let me die horribly in some water? There you go.
Can you change it a little bit and be like, and when Redhead, when you're on the, I don't know what the peak of it, I don't know what they call that. I want you instead. Yeah, that one. I want you to sing "I'm on a boat, I'm on a boat." That I thought that would just add to.
Lathe of Heaven. Ichthyus says, Dalton, can you repeat the cannibalism thing so you can clip it, please? Absolutely. So, does Yahweh cause directly people to engage in cannibalism? Some Christians make the claim that, well, when the Bible says that the nation of Israel would engage in cannibalism as a result of their sin, that this is just the natural repercussion of sin, that God isn't actually directly making them eat their kids. This is something that just happens on its own. This is not true. When we go and we read Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9, we read in the text here, specifically that it says, and I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. And the word for I will make them eat in the Hebrew is in the Hiphil stem. And the Hiphil stem is to express causation. That if a word is expressed in the Hiphil stem, they're saying that the individual who is doing this thing is causing this to come about. So Yahweh is directly causing the Israelites to eat their children. He's making them do this. So yeah, Yahweh's a dick for making people eat their kids. Liz, I said I'm going to go on a boat. And Ashley asked me if I'm going to go on April 14th, and I said no, and I'm not going to take a redhead with me to let me die in the waters. But you're more than welcome to join me and let me die in the waters.
The waters above or the waters below?
The waters below. I don't have a spaceship.
I wouldn't have known which one otherwise if you didn't clarify. Thank you. Also, collapsitalism. Really, on YouTube, let's all point at collapsitalism and just publicly shame them for just being, I don't know, I hope they're not a child because I don't want to make fun of children.
Don't go back to the same barber then, little bro. Someone's jealous.
Why are we just like rude for no reason, people?
Well, here's the thing, Ashlyn. When you're a theist and you don't have good reasons for believing in your bullshit, the only thing you can do is threaten people and make fun of the way people look. And anytime a theist engages in that kind of behavior when looking at you, collapse, your whole argument collapses in on itself. You're just a loser, and you're coming on here to bother people because you don't have good arguments.
Then fine. You're if you like him and you treat people like that, I feel really, really poor, like badly for the people that you surround yourself with. Like that, honestly, like why do you think that's appropriate? Like, honestly.
Liz said the flood was the result of God pissing on the earth. With that size of a dong, I believe it.
At Optimus Rhymes with the $1.99. Are you going on the Ark Encounter big boat?
No. I would not have my first ever vacation be going to that POS location, the Ark Encounter. I would one day I'll go to the Ark Encounter to be one of the people who on the side who are protesting it. But no, I'm gonna go on what is it called? A yacht? Is that what they are? The ones that go out in the ocean and take you to Mexico and shit like that. But no, I'm not gonna waste my money going to the Ark Encounter. No fucking way. Not in a million years. Have you seen the Ark Encounter, Ash?
Like in person?
Like a picture of it, anything.
Oh, is it like the museum thingy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's a big ass waste of money is what it was. Taxpayer paid too. Yeah.
Our Trump bill, haha, with the $5. Viljarta, volumes, monuments after the burial. Since someone mentioned gent, I gotta represent.
Y'all are just mentioning a bunch of different hey, it's you can leave it in the microwave. Yeah. Y'all just mentioning a bunch of bands I don't know anything about. Cruise ship? That's what it's called, Ashley Ash. Thank you. I'm going on a cruise ship.
Wait, you really did? I thought that was a joke.
No, I forgot I forgot word. I forgot. I be working hard and my brain be no working. At
GeForce again with the $5. Start with a Spotify gent playlist. Meshuggah, Bleed, Auras, Era, Didinja, and more. Go for it and be happy, my child.
Sure. Meshuggah is funny. Meshuggah is a Yiddish phrase which means like crazy. And when I was in high school, my nickname from one of my girlfriends was Meshuggah, and she thought I meant my sugar. Like a pretty pet name, but I was also but at the same time I was calling her crazy the whole time. Meshuggah. I took her to a prom. It was fun.
At Collapsidalism. That wasn't an attack about your looks. What?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know another way to interpret that. If someone said, "Hey, you should probably ditch your barber," or like your hairstylist, that just tells me it's just another way of saying, "Hey, your hair looks ugly." There is absolutely no other way to put that. I don't. It seems like you're like not meaning it like that way. Maybe from like your defense of it, I don't know what else you could mean by that. That you just don't like his hair. Like that's just a weird thing to like tell strangers on the internet. Like I don't know what it is with this like day and age where like people assume that it's okay to just like go on and like tell people rude things, but this was rude.
Yeah, Fire Your Stylist doesn't have a good message, as Lady of Heaven says. I like your buzz. Thank you, Queen Laquifa. Laquifa, Dr. Hashem. I'm just now noticing that your name isn't just Dr. Hashem anymore. It's Queen Laquifa. Gee whiz. And at GeForce again.
With the $2. So, Autobots, roll out.
I had to do it. It's a long story. I believe it. It's a long story. So is Yahweh's penis. I'm obsessed with Yahweh's penis now. Now that we've discussed it here on the live, it's circumcised. Did you guys know that? Kurgo says, "What is so?" It's an inside joke from Joel and Mezzo's channel that I'm not all in on, but you know. So. I bet my name would sound sinister in that God voice.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got a returning guest. I'll take him up because we ain't got no one else. So, Michael, welcome back again.
Hello.
To the show.
Thank you. I genuinely wanted to just get back on this about the sold into Egypt thing.
1 second. Let me just
Mhm.
1 second. I got my desk here. 1 second.
Okay.
All right. I just had a bang my head there for a second. All right.
Okay. I'm working with you. I promise. I just want you to hear me out because I think that the same way you think I'm doing apologetics for religion, I feel that you're doing apologetics for anti-religion. So I
It's not.
just want to
It's
kind of
not. It's not
it
anti-religion,
seems
and it's not
or
anti-religion,
anti-Bible.
and it's not
Okay, fine.
anti-Bible, and it's not apologetics. Apologetics is the car salesman tactic of religion in order to, instead of just dealing with the data on their own terms, making excuses in order to justify further belief in a dogma. I don't have any dogmas.
Yes, I believe that your dogma is that the Bible is that let's talk about that phrase. You're dogmatic about that sentence is implying that the Midianites sold him to the Egyptians, right? That's your
No,
dogma.
I would
I'm
be able.
now trying to
I'm not dogmatically bound to that. That's just where the data leads us.
Okay. So now I want to look if you look at that sentence, it says the Midianim machru oto el Mitzrayim. Okay. If it said La Mitzrim, would
Here,
mean
listen,
to the Egyptians,
Michael. My
right?
audience is going to my audience is going to claw their eyes out if we continue on this topic of
Okay.
who sold Joseph into Egypt, and I'm
So
going
I'm ready
to as
to
well.
move on. I'm ready to move on from it. I don't have to discuss it anymore, but I think it's very clear if you think about an African selling to a ship because they were on a caravan.
I
If an
don't. I don't.
African sold a
I don't want to
slave
hear any. I don't
onto
want
a
to hear
ship
any more.
and the slave.
I don't want to hear any more of your apologetics on who sold Joseph into slavery. I just don't. I will die. Let's move on to a different topic. Do you have any good reason why I should believe in the Bible? You can unmute yourself.
So the way in which I look at the Bible is not in a historical sense. I look at it as eternally living archetypal stories, which apply throughout history to individuals, communities, nations, and it is the historicity of it does not really give me dissonance to have to ponder it. It doesn't really give me issue. What I do look for when I say truth in the Bible, I'm not looking for historical truth. I'm looking for
I am.
truth about yes.
I don't care if the Bible has like figurative or allegorical meaning to people. I mean, that might work for Jordan Peterson, but what I'm concerned with is like the historical and supernatural claims of the Bible. When the book of Daniel is clearly written not by a historical Daniel, but hundreds of years later, it leads me little reason to like give a shit what the book of Daniel says.
Mm-hmm. So I'll give one example of where historical claim or the focus on a historical claim totally takes a person away from the truth of the story itself. One very significant example to me is in the chapter of Noah, there's two stories, the flood and the dispersion in Babylon. And if you do want to look in the historical approach of Babylon, there were structures called ziggurats that were built around Mesopotamia, around the region where that story takes place. But the
Michael,
symbolism.
Michael, what part of the symbolism I don't give a shit about? Do you not understand? I don't care about what meaning you derive from the Noah story. I care about whether or not Noah existed and whether or not there was a historical flood.
Dalton, all praise Harry.
That doesn't really matter to me.
All praise Harry Potter. It gave me symbolism of friendship, honor, bravery. Amen. Severus Snape. Why do we care that you personally get this kind of meaning from the text? That's obviously not what we're talking about. Like, we can get that from any good book. I just found a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird at the thrift store. Like, this isn't like a book club about talking and chatting over what what we get from text, like as far as, you know, meaningful stories. Like why do you think that that's what this is about?
I suppose it matters to me because it was my tradition. I grew up with it. I learned all the stories, and they relate deeply to my heart. And maybe
But
for a person who was
but what is
not
what
entrenched
does it
in the
say?
culture,
But what does it say on the scroll above my head?
why should I believe in the Bible? Right.
And the
And we were
I there
discussing what
refers
you meant by
to
it.
and the I there refers to Dalton, the
You.
Bible guy. Now, I was entrenched
Hmm.
in the culture of the Bible. I was raised as a theist, specifically a Bible believing
Mhm.
theist. I still don't give a shit. I want to know whether or not these stories are factually and historically true. Like if the prophet Daniel didn't exist, then I don't give a shit what the book of Daniel says.
So the historicity is a deal breaker for you. So like you wouldn't read Harry Potter. Like you wouldn't look into the truth in Harry Potter. It's like not interesting to you because you know it didn't happen.
And it's interesting as fiction, but I don't.
I wouldn't believe magic was real because of that.
And
Okay.
oh yeah, and to
So-
GeForce in the comments, as soon as the 20-minute marker hits, I will, do the thing. But anyways, yeah. So no, I wouldn't be getting I wouldn't be deriving morals or instruction commandments from Harry Potter if it wasn't true. Like the Torah gives instruction for a lot of different like things. I don't like, for example, as a Gentile and a Ben Noach allegedly, I would be I shouldn't blaspheme. But if Yahweh, isn't real and the Bible isn't true, then who gives a shit about blasphemy?
You got the kick.
Yeah. I said after
Okay,
the 20
so-
after the 20 after the 20-minute marker hits.
I got you. So the name Yahweh, do you know like the etymology of that?
Yud Hey Vav Hey.
You know what,
It's
like, it means?
it's meant
Mhm.
to be. It's meant to mean He will be. Yahweh. It's a third person form of like the word Ehyeh, meaning I will be.
Okay,
It's from the root
So-
Hayah, to be.
that would be, yes, it's from the three roots of Hayah, Hoveh, Yihiyeh. And actually the pronunciation
Allegedly.
Yahweh is not correct, but
Really?
well, yes, it's not a
According-
it's a
accor-
v sound. I do not pronounce it.
It's a v sound
Well, in
now.
Arabic-
It's a v sound now. In ancient Hebrew, it would be pronounced as a wow. That's why
Well,
that's
that's
a W
very-
sound. Which is why it takes on
Yeah.
which is why in some instances it takes on a long double U sound. It can make the sound wa or oo in some instances. It didn't become vav,
Mhm.
a
That's
the
very
sound until
similar
much later.
to. Yes, that's very similar. Like if you look at Semitic languages, like Arabic has a wow, it means and, just like vav in Hebrew means and. So like
in
wa'anna
Aramaic.
means and I, and ve'ani means and I in English. So besides the point, the Hebrew, the three words, if you look at the three words, haya, hoveh, yihiyeh, they all are the different forms of to be, right?
Well,
that means was,
I don't
is, will be.
I don't consider those the text it's from Hayah. I don't consider the other speculative roots to be like the origin of Yahweh. Generally, words have one singular root. Scholars would consider the root for the Tetragrammaton to be the word Hayah, which means to be, and it's because he says to Moses, "I will be with you." Ehyeh. And you can't refer to God as Ehyeh because it's first person, so you refer to him as Yahweh, he who will be.
So haya, hoveh, yihiyeh. And God says, why was he called Ehyeh, Asher Ehyeh? He says, I will
Do we
be.
have any examples in Hebrew, names other or otherwise, where it derives from three different roots, or is it all just one? They all derive from one root.
The names of individual sons, no, it's not. But God is a being, is the creator of the world. So I mean, if you I believe in it, and it's not. It's
Doesn't
you look
matter.
at reality to me.
Doesn't matter. All the other gods
So when
also
you're
have
saying
names.
Yahweh, you're thinking of a specific deity. Like this is the
Yes.
creator. This is the foundation of monotheism. Is
No.
different than like a god like Jesus,
The
who is an
Hebrew
isolated being.
the Hebrew Bible. Well, God Yahweh in the Hebrew Bible is also an isolated being. Yahweh is a corporeal being with a physical form who existed in the heavens, and monotheism is not
Bible
taught in the Hebrew
explicitly
Bible.
says you did not see a form at Sinai. You did
And
not
yet,
see a form because God.
and the Bible also says that they saw Yahweh.
Yeah, like
They heard him.
no. Moses saw.
Saw. Here, I'll pull up the passage here. Let's see.
Only
it's,
saw his back,
No,
No.
They saw his. He saw his face.
not his. Okay.
Exodus
I think you're
24.
confusing. You're confused. Yeah, it is 100% his
okay.
face. Because he says that everyone else who saw him died, but
Right, saw
not him, not anyone who saw his face. Everybody saw his backside.
Let me take.
Let's-
You're thinking of different
I think
passages.
maybe
Let's
it's been
see.
I think it's been a while since you reviewed this, but it's very clear.
Okay, which verse is that?
It's in Exodus chapter. Let me pull it up. 24 verses 9 through 11. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. All right. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. Under his feet there was something like a pavement sapphire stone, like the very heaven for clearness. They saw the God of Israel. And by the way, if you're looking at God's back, that means God has a form. He's not incorporeal.
Well, it's telling you. Well, it's if you're talking, you're saying that it's something that can't be seen directly. So there, by saying that you saw the back, it is not saying that you saw physical back.
No, it does, because that's how gods worked in the ancient world. You know that there are like myths, for example,
your literalism.
That's not literalism.
It's literalist.
It's not literalism. It's plainness. We don't treat the Hebrew Bible. We don't give the Hebrew Bible special privileges. We treat it the way we treat every other ancient text in the ancient Near East, and not just the ancient Near East. We have stories where, for example, where Hera tricks a mortal woman into asking Zeus to see his face. And when Zeus reveals his true face to her, his divinity is so powerful, it instantly obliterates her and kills her. So this is not something unique to the Hebrew Bible. It's just that in the ancient world, the gods' faces were so brilliant with glory that mortal people could not look upon their faces, but they had faces. And they had bodies, they had penises and butts and arms and legs.
So why all the restrictions upon making an image of God? Why is that such a big commandment that is repeated throughout the entire Torah?
Because for the authors of the workers of the Torah, human beings were the true image of the deity, which is why you don't make statues of the deity. However, this is a later imposition after the renovation, or what's the word for the Reformation under King Josiah. Prior to this, the ancient Israelites didn't have problems with making images of Yahweh. In fact, we have images. We have pictures of Yahweh by the ancient Israelites, such as this image right here of depicting Yahweh and his consort Asherah. Yahweh's the figure on the left.
And
Asherah
God had a dom.
Asherah was an idol.
Yeah, she was his consort. Asherah is the name of a goddess. She was the consort of the chief deity El in the Canaanite pantheon. And later on, when Yahweh, when El were conflated to become a singular deity, she also became the consort of Yahweh.
Do you want to pull up Deuteronomy 32:8 through 15?
No, can I?
Go on, Ash.
Hold on, we're going to show you this, because can you open Deuteronomy 32:8 through 15?
Yeah.
Because I don't care what it says in 2 Kings. This verse specifically is some of the strongest evidence that there were multiple gods, and that Yahweh was only one of them.
When the Most High Elyon, apportioned the nations. When he divided humankind, he fixed the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the gods. Yahweh's own portion was his people, Jacob his allotted share.
He fixed the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the gods. That's referring to Israel?
No, Israel's not gods. Israel's are mortals. Gods refer to deities. So El Elyon is the chief deity. He has 70 sons, the 70 sons of El, and this is pretty typical amongst the Canaanite pantheon. And and you should know this according to Israelite mythology, and this is the same for like the Canaanites. How many nations are there?
70 nations, yeah.
70 nations. There are 70 gods who are the sons of El, and there are 70 nations, and El Elyon apportions or divides the nations up amongst the gods. Every god gets their own nation. And it was to Yahweh that El gave the nation Israel. This is because this passage is a remnant passage from the time before the Israelites conflated Yahweh and El.
Yeah, and you'll know some of them too because they're still in the text. Baal and Mot are two examples of other gods that would have been during this time period. And Yahweh was just the storm deity.
Yeah, originally, yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna have to investigate that. It happens to be with the Joseph story. I very firmly believe that that is not a grammatical discrepancy in any way or factual contradiction
Michael,
between
as interesting as conversation,
I do have to study it.
As interesting as this is, it has been 20 minutes, and after 20 minutes, I allow people to pay to boot. So you've been paid. I've been paid to boot you, but you're more than welcome to come back on another day.
Okay.
All right. And that's for GeForce with $20. So kick, be gone, child. Yeah. Now remember, everyone, if there's a guest that you really don't like, I will kick them, but only after the 20-minute marker. Then I will kick. If you pay $20, then I will kick them. So that's the new rule, because they be some people on here that need to be kicked. But I get lost in conversation, and I will go on forever in these conversations. So there's just a reminder out there. So W to GeForce for that. And a special guest, Deconstruction Zone. Hey, Justin. How was the atheist
Romans
experience?
chapter 1 says that you're suppressing the truth and unrighteousness and that you're without excuse. What's your answer?
I'm always, I love suppressing suppressing the truth. That's not what my therapist tells me I'm suppressing, but it is what it is. Justin, how was the atheist experience today?
Not too bad. We got 2 callers up front, kind of trolly, but it is what it is. They almost got the TikTok stream set up. So here in the next couple of weeks, we should see better guests coming up. But
hell yeah, I knew a couple months ago you said you were working on something like that, and I'm glad to see that it's coming to fruition, because the AXP really needs that little addition to the lives.
yeah, that is the case. Ashlyn, good to see you too.
You as well. Hi. All right,
And
you're recovered well from the flu or whatever that you had. I think you were sick, right?
Oh yeah, much better. I had like a lingering stomach pain for like another couple days after, but I feel like 100% today finally.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's Declan James with the $5. To the caller, is there a categorical difference between the meaning drawn from Bible compared to the meaning drawn from any other text? If so, how?
Yeah, and this is the thing. When it comes to reading the Hebrew Bible, what individuals like Michael want to do is they want to treat the Bible as if it's its own special category of works. But no, we always read the Hebrew Bible the way we would read any other ancient Near Eastern text. So when the text describes Yahweh as having a body and an ass that Moses looks upon, I'm going to read that the same way as if it was Zeus. It just means that Moses saw Yahweh's backside.
Oh, and I'll shout out for anyone that wants to learn more about this. Dr. Francesca Stavrakopoulou, God, and Anatomy is a great book to read on this. It's really fun when you learn about the euphemisms for God's phallic regions.
Yes, I have this wonderful book here. God and
Where did
Anatomy.
you get that book, Dalton? In the physical copy? Wow.
Last November, Ashlyn came to visit me in Texas, and she left this here. But yeah, there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, count them, 4 chapters in this book dedicated to God's weenie alone. God's peen, 4 chapters dedicated to it. So
this makes everything I need to know about Dr. Stavrakopoulou, and I love it.
Host used new NSRV translation that was published in 1989. Incorrect DK. I used the new Revised Standard Version updated edition, which is which has been updated at least as recently as what is it? Just in 2021 was the last update.
Yeah, really recent.
Why does it matter? Like exactly like when? I mean, there are certain reasons why like super old versions. But if it's like a correct rendering of the text and it has the most recent manuscripts, like would it matter if it was 89 or 2009 or?
Yeah, just so everyone can see, this is the new Revised Standard Version updated edition. This is the scholarly, like this is like as far as like complete whole Bibles, Old and New Testament, this is like the standard. If you're looking for a specific like Hebrew Bibles, the New Jewish Publication Society or Robert Alter's translation, these would be other good works. But yeah, the new NRSVUE, good translation. Don't know what DK thought he was doing there, but it wasn't a W.
And mine has the Septuagint.
Yours has the additions that the Septuagint has, yes.
Yeah, not I don't think it's a complete.
At Coaxialism with the $5. Hey, we love Justin. And at Ben Bunworth with the $5. Can the kick feature be a physical kick instead?
I don't have the ability to physically kick my my opposition, but you guys, you're more than welcome to. I'll figure out something. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a nice little animation or something for it. But I'm staying up. I've been staying up all night working on trying to find new ways of editing videos. I was going to go to start using Adobe Premiere, but it's so complicated. And I think I'm doing just fine with the program I'm using now. Ooh, my mic's too loud.
Which program are you using right now?
Right now, I'm using Power Director, and it's super intuitive for like people who aren't like experts in like Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and stuff like that. It's super easy to use, and it's all the edits I do on the YouTube guys. It's all from Power Director. I bought a 1-year subscription to it. I got it for the whole year. I'll probably I'll keep doing it every year because it's just really fucking good. But I'm gonna be pretty soon. As soon as I get my new GPU, I'm gonna be producing like new videos that aren't just debate videos, but actually talk videos. And because I need an NVIDIA GPU to use some features that I want to use. Oopsie, accidentally got out of the but you've been busy today, bud. AXP and Unapologetic in one day. Gee whiz, you must be exhausted.
It was a full one, buddy.
So apparently, I think Ashley asked a question about what changes are made from revision to revision.
So
specifically,
when it comes to Bible translations, when you go from one Bible to another, It's going to be small changes, like, for example, newer Bibles will often like implement a sort of gender neutral language when referring to like groups of people. Instead of referring to brothers of Christ, it'll be like it'll use like a gender neutral term in its place. Or for example, the verse we read today, Deuteronomy chapter 32 verses 8-9, if you look at older versions of the New Revised Standard Version, it'll say something like the sons of Israel as opposed to the gods, because they would make updates to it based on like more findings from the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint. Dalton, can you say Ichthyus Prime, destroyer of faith? Oh, in the God voice, please.
Ichthyus Prime, destroyer of faith.
Is that what? Okay, but we got some super chats.
At GeForce with the $2, $20 kiss offer, consensual of course, hashtag gay for Dalton.
I mean, you're more than welcome to send me all the kissy emojis you want to in the comment section. I'm all for it. But I think it's going to be a little bit more than $20 for you to fly all the way out to Texas for that. And then
GeForce again with the $50. So,
Justin, do you get the "so" reference?
So my understanding is it's kind of like the 6-7 brain rot. There's no real thing behind it. It's just taken off.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, apparently it's a Joel Mezzo thing, and hell is used less frequently in the newer versions as well. Oh, that's another good point. Yeah, like where traditional Bible translations would use hell a lot, more modern Bible translations are slowly moving away from that and replacing it with words like Sheol or the grave or the pit, or sometimes even Gehenna. There are certain Bible translations in the New Testament which will say Gehenna instead of hellfire, which I think is really cool.
And at Simon Not the Zealot with the 20 Canuck bucks. Hi, Bible guy. I have a question for you. Do you think that, according to Romans 13, Paul is advocating for dictatorships? In other words, according to the Bible, was Hitler in power by God himself?
This is an interesting question, because here, let me pull up the passage real quick for everyone. We'll like read what it says about what Paul says about the authorities that have been placed over you. Romans chapter 13. Oopsie. There we go. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those authorities that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists authority resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad. Do you wish to have no fear of the authority? Then do what is good, and you will receive its approval. So this is actually a very interesting question, and I'm not quite sure which way to go about this, because I'm not even sure myself if Paul is referring to all governing authority or if he's referring to governing authority within the church. I think it's probably referring to government authority. What do you think, Justin, in your opinion?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Yeah, I think so too. And now Paul lived. I don't think Paul would have foreseen the atrocities performed by Hitler. And even when Paul was alive, Nero had not yet engaged in the limited persecution of Christians that he would have. Now, during Paul's time, Roman authorities, Paul was a Roman citizen, allegedly. He would have had a very different outlook on Roman authority than like a Palestinian Jew would have seen. But I don't think, I'm pretty sure Paul is also aware of the fact that there have been evil rulers in the past, like Nebuchadnezzar at one point. But even he may have even, been respectful towards Nebuchadnezzar, as Daniel is respectful towards Nebuchadnezzar in his own book. But if you're going to take Paul's works seriously as a Christian, that would mean that you would have to believe that if you're like a MAGA Christian out there, you have to believe that God instituted Joe Biden as president, and that was God's will. Is a MAGA Christian out there going to say that it was God's will for Joe Biden to be president? I would be interested to see.
I think it makes a lot more sense too if you'll understand that Paul thought the world was imminently about to end. So like in Paul's mind, he's like, hey, it's just a little bit while longer. Just sit tight, obey the government, don't make a fuss. We're almost out of here.
Yeah. That also take that into consideration too. Oh, we always have to take into consideration that fact that Paul was a doomsday prepper at heart, and he thought that the end was nigh. So always color everything Paul says with that in mind. Parker says, no, they don't think that much, Dalton. This is true. MAGA people don't think that much. Ooh. And
At Carlos Valdez with the 200 pesos. The fuck? I'm getting jealous. I'm more gay for Dalton than anyone, and gay for Justin. Love you guys.
never in my life did I ever think I would be receiving this kind of attention. But I'm here for it. Love you, Carlos. Glad to hear from you again.
You're basically Magic Mike.
In what universe?
So how's your
Um,
dancing skills, buddy?
Well, I mean, hey, if anyone wants to know what my dancing skills are like, you're more than welcome to roll back to the beginning of the on the video on YouTube and see me jazzing out in the introduction. But not so great, not so great. I'll tell you that. But we have a guest, Apostle Logic. This should be interesting. Apostle Logic, I'm going to ask you.
Not to pee on the stream? The pun was intended, guys.
Apostle Logic, is this what is this what you've come up here to do? He said, hold on. What the actual fuck?
Yeah. Guys, we just hold on. He's got to shake a few times. Remember, if it's 3 times, you're playing with yourself. Also, Im says to stop impersonating him.
No, Ims, listen, as lovely as the voice changer is, it doesn't even come close to the majesty that is M's voice. Piss Logic said M's. Piss Logic. Apostle Logic, are you done using the bathroom?
Oh my gosh, I didn't expect to be accepted so fast. Okay, that's embarrassing. All right.
Well,
Sorry
Apostle
about
Logic, I got 4 preliminary questions to ask you, then we can move on to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Apostle, question number 1, are you at least 18 years old?
Yes, I am.
Question number 2, are you a Bible believer?
What do you mean by that?
Do you believe that
the Bible
that the
is true?
content that the content of the Bible comports to reality?
Yes.
Question number 3, how much of the Bible have you read?
I read it from back to front, but if you were to quiz me on which chapter or what, it'd probably take a little bit while for me to
And
know
then-
which you're talking about.
And then final question, what pronouns do you prefer to go by?
I don't really know. I'm just a dude, bro. I'm just a guy who likes women. So
You don't know what your pronouns are?
no, I don't care.
What does your sexuality have to do with pronouns?
Yeah, I didn't ask
I
about
have
your
no
sex
clue.
life. I don't care about your
Weird
sex
place
life.
to announce that.
Well,
You know-
I don't want to entertain this new thing that y'all have brought up. I'm a guy
No.
who likes women.
No,
Uh,
we've been using pronouns for thousands of years. There are pronouns in the Bible. Jesus said, "I am
What-
He."
Okay, well, okay. 20 years ago, people wouldn't have come up to me and say, "Ask what's your pronouns." They're
I
just
don't
known
care
I'm a
what
guy,
people.
so-
I don't care what people 20 years ago used to ask. If you want to talk to me, you have to answer the question and show me that you're smart enough to answer the question. So, what pronouns do you go by?
He? I don't know.
There you go. There's a 30 seconds of my life I'll never get back. So, Apostle Logic, he, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. Tell me, why should I believe in the Bible?
Well, I'm actually here to debate deconstruction. He said come on my live to. I don't know if this is live or your live, but this is why I come up here for.
You can debate both of us. Why should me and
Well,
and Justin?
I can't debate him.
Why should me and
If I'm not going to
Justin?
debate him, then I'll just go ahead and leave because I came to debate him. You know.
You have 76
Are-
followers, and you can't tell whose live this is.
Well,
Are
I
you-
thought you were his friend or something.
How
So,
socially
well,
how socially and cognitively inept are you that you don't know whose live you're on?
I didn't come here to debate you. I thought you were his friend, so I
Are
just came
you-
up here and.
We
Are you an
debate him.
idiot? We are friends, but are you an idiot? Are you an? You saw. It says that the Bible guy at the top of the screen, and you couldn't put one and one together.
I didn't
Where's
come
some
here
of
to
the-
debate you, buddy.
Where's some
Can
of
you
that?
debate your friend?
Where's some of that logic?
Dalton, he's scared of you. It's cool.
I came to
Yeah,
debate your friend. You
I
can throw
would-
your ad hominems on me.
It's not.
It doesn't
It's
work.
not. No, it's not an ad hominem. You jackass. You don't know what the
Mhm.
meaning of the word ad hominem is. An ad hominem is when someone makes an argument and you don't address their argument, and instead you insult them. You haven't given an argument yet, so I'm just insulting you. That's not an ad hominem, but typical Christian Philbro using terms that they don't know the meaning of. How embarrassing!
Yeah, he's mad because I made a response video to a dumb video that he made, where he was grossly misunderstanding the problem of evil, and so I made a video detailing the problem of evil. I said I'll be live for like 8 hours today. Come and find me. And he didn't want to call in on Unapologetic apparently, and so that opportunity passed. And then he didn't call AXP, and now we're here. He apparently decided this was the time to come up and find me.
Apostle Logic. What's your what's your defect, bud? Come on.
So you're not going to debate me, or what's going on here?
Yeah, you can talk to
Decon.
me, and you can talk to me and
No,
Justin.
I'm
This
here
is-
for decon.
Okay.
You're small fry. I don't care to listen.
No,
How-
your whole 76 followers. You're so important.
how
You're so
absolute-
important.
Imagine walking into someone else's house and saying, "I'm not going to talk to you. I'm here to talk to your other guests." Like, are all you Christians not only cognitively deficient, but also like just rude as fuck? Is this the example you want to set for all my audience as to how a Christian acts?
I didn't come to debate you, buddy. So hush up.
No.
Then bye.
Teeny
If you didn't-
weeny, teeny weeny. That's was the song that got stuck in my head as he was talking. I can't imagine why.
What? To quote
crazy
Hermione
that he
Granger,
thinks-
what an idiot. What's it,
Yeah,
Justin?
it's weird that he thinks that somehow he needs to single me out as if you and I disagree. What a
Yeah.
weird.
You and
We're
I would probably
obviously
say
on
the
the
exact same thing.
Like, you're not gonna say anything I'm not gonna say.
Hey, Ems, how you doing, bud?
Hey, who's Ems?
You.
This is Flat M's.
Yeah, no, this is
Oh, right. This is Flat
This is-
Ems.
He's a
It is the
folk-
guy you ran away from last time. Because you
Oh,
cannot
right.
debate anybody on the existence of God.
You know, what? I think I'll. Oh, hey, Quantonaut. You want to come up here and debate Flurp and Ems?
Oh, I've destroyed him before. Me and him debated and he crashed out.
I believe it. Hey, Quant, welcome to the live as
It happened, he
well.
crashed out.
Oh no, Ems is a flat earther.
So,
Ems, I need to
Quintonaut,
tell you
do
about
have a-
neutrinos.
do you have a response to what I told you last time?
What did you tell me last time? Remind me.
Oh, really? So you apparently work in academia, and your memory is so bad you cannot remember our conversation.
It's so bad. It's so
Oh.
bad. Remind me.
Actually, wait. As fun as this is, I do have an actual. I got someone in the YouTube chat waiting to talk. Justin, remind me, we gotta get together so I can make it to where the YouTube people and the TikTok people can like interact with each other. But
sure.
I've got here a guest. Hello
This is
there,
Car-
Hello there, guest. What name should I call you by?
I don't know what is doesn't appear. It's Carlos Valdez again.
Oh, hey, Carlos. Oh, I can see you now. Hey, Carlos. I did. What brings you up to the live, Carlos?
Second coming.
What was that?
Second coming to the chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. You've made your second coming. I mean, you're more successful than Jesus.
Yeah, and as I noticed that it's Justin over there and Ashlyn, I just want to say hi, and they can see my face now.
There you go. Well, now everyone, you got some reference that this is Carlos Valdez, who's always appearing on our lives and commenting super chats and sending out a membership. So W to Carlos Valdez.
Yeah, just a quick shout,
Huge
guys.
fucking
I have to leave now. Have
All
a great
right.
day. Thank you very much for everything you do, guys.
Have a good day, Carlos.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Christians on YouTube, remember, you're able to call in now. If Carl can do it, you can do it. No excuses. Anyways, Fleur for M's and Quantanut, back to the regularly scheduled
Back to the
programming.
bit. Yes, so please remind me about what you told me last time, because my memory is
But I
it ain't what
explained
it
to you.
used to be.
I explained to you the phases of the moon.
Okay, the phases of the moon. Yeah,
Do you understand how that happens?
I do. At least I
How
thought I
could you explain
did.
it?
Well,
Could you truly
the
attempt
phase-
to explain it? Actually, go ahead, because you're not going to
of
get
course, of course. The phases of the moon occur because the lit up portion of the moon is always facing the sun, but we're not always facing the same orientation of the moon as the sun is, and therefore, if, for example, the ordering is the sun, moon, earth, then we're facing the side of the moon that is not getting sunlight, and therefore we will not see the moon. That is a new moon phase. And alternatively, if the ordering is sun, earth, moon, then we're facing the side of the moon that is getting sunlight, and therefore we'll see a full moon. But
So
tell
it
me
is cute
the
to think
flaw,
that.
of course.
It is cute you think that.
Yes,
So-
of course.
We have demonstrated that the moon is actually a battery indicator. You do realize that, right?
Oh yes, I've almost completely forgotten about the battery indicator. Yeah, it's charging up and discharging.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah. Oh my god,
so
it's
when
revolutionary.
the sun,
real quick, while y'all are having your fun, I'm going to use a quick restroom break, so y'all just keep on going.
We'll vamp.
and he's running from me.
Make sure you don't go on stream, Dalton. Apparently, this is an issue.
On stream? Is
I've
it
always-
a pun?
I am always so paranoid when I do my own streams and I need to head out. Like, okay, so I'm muted up 3 separate times. Yes? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a battery
So go
charger.
ahead and-
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it charge again?
So, again, you know how the sun sends out mRNA to the moon?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
So the mRNA that is sent to the moon gets trapped within cells within the moon, and that then gets what is the word I'm looking for? It gets energized to produce photons, which is why we see
Yeah.
light on the moon. Which is why we describe
But-
it as a battery indicator, because the longer the moon is within the range of the sun, the more it is
Uh-huh.
going to charge up, and it's going to show us.
That's just
quote-unquote
science
reflection.
right there.
Yeah, I have a question. Are moon cells kind of like the cells
No,
of
no,
my
no.
butt?
The moon is not a no. So
Oh.
it is not the actual cells. It's more like you know how like
Yeah, don't be
batteries have
silly,
cells.
Ashley.
Oh,
the same way.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so, I was just.
The moon is actually like a
Ashley, I'm
ribosome.
sorry.
It's a big
Yeah.
ribosome. But
Yeah,
again,
but don't be
you
silly.
Would, you would have us believe. You would have us believe that it is actually a reflection of sunlight or whatever that is. You do realize that the sun isn't actually made up of light.
But man, yeah, that's foolproof. I think the only question I have is that where does the time cube get involved?
The time cube. There is no
Yeah.
time cube.
What do you mean?
There
course
is no
there
time
is.
cube. No, this is not the Avengers.
No, that's the Tesseract. I'm talking about the time cube.
Same difference.
Ems doesn't know about the time cube, y'all.
No, it just doesn't exist. I do not use fake science. I use actual peer-reviewed research.
God,
Well, yeah.
I even know what the time cube is, and I'm just me, you know.
Yeah, Ashlyn knows what the time cube is.
Or you can actually address what
And Justin, I'm pretty sure you know about the time cube, yeah?
I don't think I do know. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Flat M, since you're the scientist here, I thought that
it is Doctor to you, because I have a
Dr. Flat
PhD and an
M's.
MD.
Yeah,
Doctor.
just doctor.
No,
Okay.
Doctor.
Dr. Flat M's. My understanding was that we had evidence that the moon was actually made of baby Swiss cheese, and the sun
No.
was made of cheddar.
There was an old theory
Wensleydale.
that we have debunked. We've debunked that theory like 90 years ago. We've proven that the universe itself operates more as a cell. So the sun itself is a nucleus, and the moon is a ribosome. What happens is the sun, the light that comes from the sun, is not actually photons. It is miniature mRNA that is sent to the moon and then transcribed into.
As opposed to all that
a
other
light density.
mRNA, which is mega.
But how did the prophet person, you know, in the crayon book, split the moon if it
I do not believe in.
if
I
it
do not
wasn't-
believe in.
if it
I do
wasn't
not believe in any
cheese?
religion that is not the real religion of Jesus Christ.
Okay,
So-
so you don't believe in the cheese split.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Dalton,
I
this guy
believe
doesn't
the-
even know about the time cube.
Isn't the
I know,
time
I'm
cube
telling you
that
it
thing
doesn't
from
exist.
Isn't the time cube that thing from Avengers?
No, that's the Tesseract. That's a space cube.
It is the same thing. It is the same thing.
Real quick.
No, there's extra hours in the day that are being hidden from us.
Real quick, at Capitalism with the $5. Apostle, all we have heard is wah and boo.
Yeah, in fact, I got a good on the soundboard for Apostle Logic here. This is their impression of them. Apostle Logic, that's you. And also, if I can find a picture of that's what you were doing while we were trying to debate you, but you know. But anyways, go on.
Got
More
him.
about moon cheese.
He's so popular. Just go start up your own live. You know, it's very clear you've just got all these fans and stuff. So go debate on your own. Why are you wasting your time in here?
Since I've joined
I
this
think I have a
live,
theory
haven't
that he
seen
was
the
trying to get a
atheists.
clip with Justin for his own video.
Why would anybody want a clip with Justin? Who knows Justin? I've never seen him before.
Good point.
Exactly. Nobody would waste their time trying to talk to Justin.
Wait, didn't you talk to Justin before?
No.
No, I ran from him.
Oh yeah, you ran. You ran.
And if I did, he's too relevant for me to remember. So
Dr. Flat M's, do you happen to have like a twin brother or something?
I do, but he's misguided.
Of course.
I have no idea what
You just
Dalton's
reminded me
doing.
of somebody, so.
Dalton, what are you doing?
He's only a singular doctor. But I'm a doctor.
Yeah, what are we
what
making a
those?
cheese moon? What's going on here?
Yeah, this is the moon. It's made out of cheese. Didn't you know? That's what I've heard, at least.
Again, this is old
from some
science.
sources.
Yeah, this is
Well, call me
this is
old
old science. We've
fashioned.
debunked this in the John Doe Foundation.
Call me old fashioned. But yeah.
Well,
I'm
now
all for-
you can animate the moon getting split in half, the totally real scientific event that happened.
No, it hasn't happened. That religion is a complete farce.
Was it split with a cheese knife?
It would have to be, right?
I mean, you could
Yeah,
use
these
other knives.
atheists are a
It's
waste
gonna
of time.
stick.
Well, look. If you split cheese with a different knife, that knife is a cheese knife.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Where
by
does Dalton
definition,
think he can
right?
draw?
Look, my
It's not
drawing skills
bad.
are a bit out of date. I got to get back into the swing of things. But Christians, if there are any Christians out there who would like to come up here and give me a reason to believe in the Bible, come on up. Let's have that conversation. I promise I don't bite hard unless you ask me to.
If the Bible is not true, could you explain why life exists? Go ahead.
They sent you got a super chat. I don't know if you've seen that. Someone's asking.
I do? Let me see. I don't have a super chat. I don't have any new super chats. I've already read all the super chats.
Host, could you explain life, please? Go ahead.
Life?
Somebody needs to get scientific snitch in here because she could get really schooled by you.
Scientific snitch has run away from me like 3 times before.
If I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure
the topic of genetics.
Life was created in the 1970s. It was a popular board game. I've never played it myself.
So, for all of the questions in the chat, this is what atheists do. They're unable to hold actual intellectual conversations, so they make a mockery of themselves and their beliefs. Do not waste your time with these atheists.
Are you calling me
go
weak?
find a good Christian life.
I can hold heavy things. I know intellectual conversations. I can.
As
hold
I said again, atheists
I need
are
to
a waste of
do
time.
some more
They're a
weight
mockery
training
of.
first.
That's true. Very true.
I'm sure.
To quote Ashra in the comment section, the game of life is fun. Apologetic logic, Apostle Logic. I don't know, why are you still here in the comment section? I thought you weren't interested in here. In fact, I'll just mute you, and then if you want to say any shit, you can come up here and say it to me, the Bible guy, the guy whose live you're in right now. You can come up and have a conversation with me as to why I should believe in your holy book. Or will you just remain a coward until the end? I suspect it's the former.
I think he's afraid of you.
I think he is too. He cannot.
Nobody's scared of Delton.
Everybody knows they're all actually scared of me. I'm the big guns up here.
It's talking to a woman is terrifying. Wait a minute. Talking to a woman is terrifying for these incel Christians. God forbid a woman should say anything.
Not something they've done before.
He proceeds
Jeez,
to take off his glasses
Carlos.
after I said my comment.
Oh my god! Like
Fragile.
I can't get over Carlos right now. Like, jeez.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Carlos,
At Carlos Valdez sent 50, count 'em, 50, the Bible Guy gift memberships.
give an absolute fucking W to Carlos Valdez. What an NV fucking P. Love you, Carlos.
Huge W.
Carlos is helping me pay my fucking bills.
Carlos is funding the Satan worship.
Absolutely. Hail Satan.
Oh, you should see what we do at the Collider. You know, all the rituals that we do to summon all the different demons.
Quant, have you ever heard of the show called Evil?
I have not.
There is an episode of the show. There's a show about people, and basically they're assessors for the Catholic Church. They go and they assess whether or not it's demons or psychological problems. And two of them are agnostic atheists, and then one is an actual Catholic priest. But there's an episode set at a particle collider.
Oh, I wonder which one.
Don't.
It's in New York. I don't think it's a real one. I don't think it's not. Maybe it is a real one. I don't know.
That's the one that I've worked at.
So
I just took shifts there recently.
She's a psychologist who also thinks that patient-doctor
confidentiality.
Confidentiality, thank you, means that if someone committed a crime, that you don't have an obligation as a mandated reporter to say anything. I can't watch this show.
But they actually went to Brookhaven. There is a Collider in New York. And
I don't remember here.
I work on those projects.
Here, let me see. But
what was their assessment? Is it cursed?
Oh, there was so a lot of these episodes end up with them like not really resolving, and it's like, oh, was it just a naturalistic phenomenon, or was it supernatural? But there is a portal to hell that they opened up at the end. It sounds silly, but when you watch it,
relativistic heavy ion collider. I need to see. I need to see this episode because again, I cannot express to you. I have actually done experiments in the collider hall there and operated the equipment that runs the collider.
Go to an Evil, the Netflix show. And then at the end of the episode, one of the characters accidentally is inside the collider when it accidentally goes off. And then he gets hit in the head with a particle.
Oh my god, that's I need to like assess this show and break it down and
By the way, Dalton,
that whole episode.
you kind of look like
that's so
the
funny.
guy that plays Superman in Smallville.
Is this basically like X-Files but for Catholics?
Tom Welling?
I think that's his name. Do you not? I feel like you do.
Did I what? What about him?
You do kind of look like him.
Oh, are you referring to the guy who plays Clark or the guy who plays Lex Luthor?
Clark.
Oh, really? Well, I'll fucking take it. He's a handsome fella. Tom Wellington, I think his name or something like that. I'll fucking take that. The team investigates a particle accelerator collider facility in season 4. The show does not explicitly name the real world collider.
If it's the one in New York, there's only one. And that's the one that I worked at. Oh my god.
In the show, here, let me take a look at Evil, Netflix, particle collider. Get an image of it up. Here's an image from the episode.
Let's see it. Oh god, I need to see this. Okay.
There you
go. So they're in the accelerator tunnels, although those pipes are a lot bigger than they are in reality.
Yeah, so it's a set first and foremost. In real life,
well, yeah, of course.
It looks like it goes on forever. In real life, the collider piece set doesn't go on very fast, and the rest of it is CGI green screen in the background. But
Sure. You want to see what a real collider looks like? The actual one?
Yeah.
I have pictures. Not
Absolutely.
to make this a live about particle colliders, but
no, I mean, like, I want to see a fucking particle collider. I've only seen pictures. I mean, I guess there's more here. Let me make your screen bigger. Let's see.
Let me first actually pull it up and see if TikTok will
make sure that people on YouTube can see it too.
Me. Let's see here. Find the right folder. So, do you want to see the detector, where the collision happens, or the actual accelerator tunnel, like what you were showing?
The actual, you have a picture of the inside?
Yeah, I have pictures of all of it. I've been on all fours working with the equipment. So, I'll just show all of it. So let's see here. Here we go. Here is an actual accelerator tunnel. There we go. This is the actual accelerator tunnel from the relativistic heavy ion collider.
Yeah, this one was so
you can
big.
See it curves. Yeah,
this one was so big that one of the characters could literally they had to hunch up a little bit, but they were able to stand inside of it.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing.
He probably has a good personality.
Say what?
I mean, it's how you use them. It's not the size that matters, right?
It's the size. It's not about the size. It's about how fast your particles collide. Yeah. Absolutely.
Keep telling yourself that, fellows. Keep telling yourself that.
And then, if you want to see the heavy duty equipment,
yeah,
let me pull up the star detector. So that's just the accelerator portion, not the actual part where the particles collide. And that, boy, I really need to make my own folder just to have all these right on standby.
By the way, Christians, we have approximately 40 minutes left of the show. So, but I do have someone who wants to come up. Hopefully they're opposition, or at least wanting to ask a question. Guest. Oh, they disappeared.
There it is.
How does one get invited to be a member of the Large Hadron Collider?
Hadron, not hard on.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought we were doing something else. Okay.
Oh my god, yeah, that's good.
But yeah, this is the star detector. You can see the tiny pipe that goes into it. That's where the particles actually enter into the collision point.
So you're basically a mechanic, right?
I like to think myself as a little bit more involved.
Wow, how demeaning,
but
Ashley.
a lot of mechanics are involved.
Quant's basically just a mechanic. In the comment section, there's a person whose name is written in cuneiform, so I can't read your name out loud, but your comment saying, I am learning Hebrew, shalom. And shalom to you too. However, small correction, when you typed out shalom, you put the wrong version of the letter mem at the end of the word. When the letter mem ends a word, it needs to be a closed mem. I'll pull up my I'll pull up my iPad so you can see properly. Whenever you see the word shalom written, there are certain letters that when you end this word with that letter, then that looks like shit. Literally. 1 second, let me get the right.
We can't see you, by the way. You're small screen right now.
Oh, okay. Wait 1 second. Here, let me take care of this real quick. How do I make myself big? Usually it's by rubbing myself, but here we'll see fit to screen.
Jesus.
Nope, that's not right either. 1 second. I'm not crop. No. What the heck? Why am I not able to? How do I collapse?
That's a good one.
Am I missing something? How the hell do I? Oh wait, here we go. Shrink. There we go. I just gotta fix my screen again now. All right. There we go.
I guess
now
this is my background now. If I position myself like this, it kind of looks like
it looks like a halo. So when you write off Hebrew words, and I guess this will be our Hebrew lesson for the day, everyone. When you write out a Hebrew word and it ends with a certain particular letter, and I'll fix this in a second. But when you write out particular Hebrew letters, like words that end with the letter mem, then you'll have a different form of the letter. So, for example, when you write out the word shalom in Hebrew, you got shen, lamed, vav, and then the version of the letter mem is not going to be your typical letter mem, which looks like this, but it's going to be a closed mem, which looks like this. So you have to use the closed m when ending any word with the letter mem. So this is how you would spell shalom in Hebrew proper. There you go.
This alphabet is
You have
weird.
duplicates on your YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna fix that in a second. What M's?
Also, Dalton,
this alphabet is so
I don't know
weird.
if you knew this, but you're actually mistaken. That says W1 backwards 3 square.
Learning Hebrew was, listen, one thing I will never be able to do, and I can praise M's for this 100%. Learning Arabic is probably something I will never actually get around to doing. I think Hebrew is pretty easy language, but Arabic, the way it's written out, the way the words are pronounced, Justin, you can probably say the same. Arabic is a whole different beast than Hebrew.
I'm forcing Justin to learn Arabic.
So,
are you?
I was
I am,
trying.
yes.
I was.
It is not optional anymore.
So Elias, he speaks Arabic, but his mom's coming in. She doesn't speak English, and she cooks food. So I was trying to label things in Arabic. So I took a picture and was like, okay, AI, give me the Arabic. It got all the Arabic right, but it put it left to right and not right to left.
All right.
So
I've got a guest now. We got Rebecca here, and then we'll take the guest that's in the YouTube. I see you on in Video Ninja. We'll get to you in just a moment, guest, after we talk to Rebecca. Rebecca, hello. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions. and then we can get on to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Rebecca, are you at least 18 years old?
Yes, I'm 18.
Question number 2, Rebecca, are you a Bible believer?
No, I'm not.
What year were you
was
born?
that?
Year were you born, Rebecca?
2007.
All right, yeah, that makes that checks out. And then you're not a Bible believer, so I'll skip question 3 and go to question 4. Rebecca, what pronouns do you prefer to go by?
She, her.
All right, Rebecca, welcome to the Bible Guys show. What brings you up to the show?
So I'm assuming you're given your profile, you believe in the Bible, correct?
No, I'm an atheist.
Rebecca.
Oh,
Rebecca, are
okay.
you Muslim?
I assume because it said the Bible guy, like you believed in it. But why are you atheist?
So are you Muslim? That's why Em's asked. Are you Muslim?
No.
Okay. Why am I an atheist? Or do you belong to? Are you a theist of any kind, or are you also an atheist?
I'm atheist, but I'm Hindu.
So you're like, you don't believe in any of the gods of Hinduism. You just practice it.
See, that's the misconception with Hinduism, is that we don't have gods. I feel like like those things that were named were just because, like, when British colonized India, they just found these things that we sort of idolize and they called them gods, but we don't believe that those people were like those things they like intervene or cause supernatural powers or anything.
Are they beings that are not natural, like they're supernatural beings of some kind?
Yeah, but they're more like a fictional story kind of thing. They're not
real.
Something
like there is no Vishnu, for example.
No, there isn't. But there is like historical so basically what we determine, like what we call God in Hinduism, is someone who has realized the truth. And the truth is that basically when you...
Well, yeah, it sounds like you're an atheist.
Yeah, I am, but I am, yeah. So
I suggest, I guess, why am I an atheist? Because the same reason you are, you don't believe in any gods. I also don't believe in any gods. I've never been convinced of the existence of any gods, therefore I'm an atheist. But listen, I've got a guest on the line, Rebecca, who I probably YouTube guest. Give us a thumbs up. Are you a opposition? Are you a Christian, a believer? With your hood on and waiting on in video, are you no, you're not, you're opposition also. Okay, then we'll just here then we'll get to you in a second, guest. Rebecca, is there something so I'm not a Christian, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in the Bible. I'm called the Bible guy because of the fact that I know the Bible better than most Christians on TikTok.
And you don't believe it's true?
No, I don't believe it's true.
Okay. Well, basically, I don't know if you know about Hinduism specifically, but
I mean, I'm not Hindu. I wasn't born in India. I'm culturally, I have nothing to do with it, and I think Hindu culture is beautiful. I love the movie Life of Pi, but when it comes to the, like, reading the Bhagavad Gita, or it just doesn't play any. It has no significance in my life.
okay. I mean, I guess I thought that you were for the Bible, which is why I came up, but I guess it was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you too, Rebecca. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
How do people read the prompt? Why should I believe in the Bible, and assume that you do believe in the Bible?
And
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It happens a lot often.
There are some schools of Hinduism in which do say that there is an omniscient, omnipresent. Yeah.
Brahma.
I don't. Yeah, like I was just double checking. I don't like. Interesting.
I was about to ask that myself, but I didn't want to come off as ignorant.
No, I
Actually,
don't. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna
Real
say,
quick-
I agree. I
Yeah.
had a coworker who believed that the Hindu gods were real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was pretty sure. I didn't want to fight her on that, though. I wasn't really all that interested. I'm aware that, you know, probably if you go back in time, Hindus believed the gods were actual gods, and that this is probably a modern innovation that she believes in. But anyways, guest on Video Ninja. Hello there. I'm Dalton the Bible Guy. What name should I call you by? Oh, you here. Make sure that your microphone is actually set up. Again with the Irish goodbye. See, bye, Justin. Is your microphone? There should be a setting, guest, in your audio. If you look down, there says audio settings, and then you can click your microphone that you're using for that audio setting.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Hello, guest. What name should I call you by?
Mark.
Mark. Okay. Hello, Mark. I'm Dalton, the Bible Guy. You said you're. Are you at least 18 years old?
Yep.
You kind of look. By the way, you kind of look like. Do you know who Matt Smith is?
Yeah. Yeah. For Doctor Who, one of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Who's.
You kind of look like the Doctor a little bit, in my opinion. So.
He's a good-looking guy.
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to drop. Thank you for having me.
Hey, ma'ams. You have a good day, bud. Okay, Mark. You're at least 18 years old. You said, are you a Bible believer?
I'll
No.
stay with you.
What was that, Mark?
No.
Okay, and then I'll skip question 3 and go to question 4. What pronouns do you prefer to be called by, Mark?
He, him.
All right, Mark. He, him. Welcome to the Bible Guy Show. What brings you up to the panel, bud?
So, I was reading. Right now, I'm reading "Marriage in the Bible" by Jennifer Bird, which I might have.
Ooh.
Yeah, I might have gotten that
W.
from you guys. I'm not sure. That you guys might have recommended on one of the streams, and I was like, "Oh, I'll check it out." I had a question for you. Also, can I don't really hear anybody else on the panel.
Yeah, as it currently stands right now, I don't have it set up where TikTok. You can hear the TikTok guests. So for the duration of this conversation, you'll just be talking to me. Sometime this week, I'll be getting that fixed with Justin. Yeah. What's your question?
So I two questions. One was for you, and one was for Ashland.
Okay. I'll relate to you what she responds to you with. Yeah.
So basically, for you, I know you talk about the NSRV being, I don't want to say the best translation, but I guess the preferred translation. And reading the book by Jennifer Bird, she talks a lot about the husband, wife, but really more maybe should really be translated as a, man, woman, and also marriage is really should maybe be like the man, was taken by the man, stuff like that. So what do you think about that? Because I know you say like the NSRV, and not just you, but a lot of people say that's really like the preferred translation. But it seems to really, hide some pretty terrible, translations in there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. So like,
hold on, Dalton. She addresses this in Godless Engineer stream, by the way. I would just let them know that.
okay, yeah, I'll let them know. So first and foremost, she does address this directly in Godless Engineer. Do you know who Godless Engineer is?
I know his name. I hear him every now and again, some streams, but
When you get a chance, check out Godless Engineer's YouTube channel, and he has an interview with Jennifer Bird in which he talks about this specifically with her. But yeah, as the new Revised Standard Version Updated Edition is like my preferred go-to Bible. However, just as a disclaimer for everyone, not just for Mark, the NRSVUE is by no means a perfect Bible translation. I have lots of contentions with it. I have contentions with the way that some sections of the Gospel of John, for example, get translated, because as strongly as, because it's an ecumenical translation, you have lots of different Christian sects coming together, and even non-Christian, like Jewish translators coming together to work on this translation. However, no one is free of bias, especially if you're religious, and some of those religious biases do get brought into the translation For example, you've mentioned that while the Hebrew of the Hebrew Bible refers to ish and isha, which are man and woman, the translators will choose to use the words husband and wife, even though they're not present in the text. Likewise, sometimes the Hebrew Bible refers to the husband, which is a Baal in Hebrew, which means a master, but they'll choose to use the word husband still yet. And this is mostly because tradition is winning out in this instance in the New Revised Standard Version updated edition. And if we wanted to translate this more accurately, yes, we would say that a man doesn't marry, but lechach, he seizes a woman, and then he lays with her, and she becomes his woman, and he becomes her master. Yeah, that would be the more accurately of translating these words.
No, it's interesting for you to agree with that, because she calls it like a wooden translation. I'm not sure exactly what she meant by that. Do you like what does she mean by a wooden translation? I mean, do you have an idea?
Generally, when we refer to something as being translated woodenly, we mean like as literal as possible, even if it means it doesn't exactly sound right in English. So, like for example, we'll translate, for example, Deuteronomy 6:4, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. We'll translate that as Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. But if you wanted to translate it woodenly, literal, word for word, it would sound like, Hear, Israel, Yahweh our God, Yahweh alone. That would be like a wooden, because it's a very, very word for word translated. That's why generally it's best that we don't generally translate super woodenly. We try to convey the ideas that are being brought forth by the original authors. Although sometimes when you do that, misconceptions or tradition will slip in and then color the way the translation gets done.
Would you agree with Jennifer Bird that like the intent of the Bible authors was, not husband wife, but more man woman?
Yes, absolutely. That is the meaning of the text. Marriage as a formalized institution didn't really occur in ancient Israel. This is more of a transaction where a man is purchasing a woman from her father. She becomes his woman, and he is the man over her. So yeah, I would agree with Jennifer Bird, because that is just simply what the Hebrew of the Hebrew Bible says.
No, I agree. I appreciate that. And then the thing with Ashland, I was just kind of curious from her perspective, because I know she's always saying which I guess is fairly true, that the Bible is very misogynistic, and I assume she's familiar with this book and with this kind of translation situation. But I'm kind of curious if that does factor into her calculus as to how terrible it is the Bible is for women.
I'll let her answer, and then you can whenever you get a chance, go on YouTube and go back and listen to her response. So go ahead, Ashlyn.
Yeah, if anyone knows me, I do reference this book quite a bit regarding women being property and how women were viewed during this time period. I think that it's a very direct example, and one that is kind of an interesting question for Christians to kind of grapple, if they can bring it to themselves to look at that word and see that word for what it is. It highly influences that. But I mean, I think it's anything, even before I saw that. I mean, Dalton and I have read through Genesis together, and number of times consent wasn't there. Women's stories weren't there. It's a number of different things, but yeah, that's a major factor.
All right. She just gave her answer. So when you get a chance to go back, and you can just give a listen to that. But is there anything else before we let you go?
No, that's it. Thank you both very much. I really enjoy the show, and I'll keep watching.
All right, you go and you enjoy your TARDIS and looking at through space and time, my friend.
Okay.
But you have a wonderful night.
I do see the similarity.
Yeah, it is pretty canny. I mean, he would do well. He would do well for this Halloween if he decides to go dressed up as Matt Smith's doctor. Are you a big fan of the Doctor Who as well, Quant?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. I gotta get Ashlyn to watch it.
What's it on?
It was on well, it used to be on HBO Max, then they removed it. So I don't know where it's going to go, but it's broadcasted by the BBC. I'm sure if they have a streaming service. Yeah.
Oh,
I just say life finds a way.
I subscribe to. Oh, not that BBC. Never mind.
I have, now that they're not on HBO Max anymore. Fire in the comment section. We're talking about Doctor Who. I have just started working on purchasing them myself to watch, but yeah, as you know, I'll get back to you on that and see if I find out where you can stream it. If you get a VPN, it makes it a lot easier, I'm sure.
You know, there is a detector part also called a BBC, a beam counter, but the acronym is used for a lot of things.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, thank you, Quantanaut. You knew what I was saying.
Yes.
You're
just talking about detectors and beam counters.
I'm just the nerd.
Well, she was referring to indirectly. She was referring to beans, but not in that way. But anyways,
no, not beams. Beam, BEAM.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Like beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty.
I mean, one could describe it as a beam of sorts, but not like that kind of beam. But anyways, yeah, there's that. Red Furry says Prime.
Please
I don't. It might.
Your magic beam.
It might be in Prime, but we got some super chats to read.
At Collapitalism with the $5. Stop why I am done. He said why I am boo hoo. I
mean, yeah, that's a pretty accurate rendition of what Apostle Logic said. It was a bunch of wah and boo hoo, and then
you can be our official translator.
And then at Collapitalism with the 5 Bible Guy gift memberships. WTU collab for that. And at Lord Delane 666 with the $2. I had to wait outside at large. Hard on Collider.
You had to wait outside.
Oh my god.
Had to wait outside at the large hard-on collider. What happens if you get hit by a beam from the hard-on collider? Do you just get hard on?
I could only imagine that's what would happen. I haven't received training for that kind.
Is it like Cialis?
You know what's crazy?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Every single YouTube caller I've had so far, with one exception, have been non-believers. That all the believers who are watching right now on YouTube have been far too cowardly and scared to actually call in to the show. Like the TikTok Christians are generally cowardly, but they're more likely to come up and talk to me than y'all on YouTube, which is wild. So I deem all of you on YouTube Christians cowards.
Don't be afraid of me. I don't know nothing about no Bible.
Yeah, what's the Bible? The smart people are on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, they're smart enough to know not to all in is what the problem might be. Yeah.
Are there comment warriors on YouTube?
I mean, yeah, tons of keyboard warriors over on the YouTube channel. Hopefully some of them will gird their loins and come on up, but we've only got 20 something minutes. Yesterday, I was like ending the show, and Hutu decided that after 3 hours he was going to finally call in at the last second. He was too late. Like if you don't call in the last second and expect to come on the show, we've got 20 minutes left. So Christians, if you want to come up and give me a reason to believe in the Bible, come on up, have a conversation. And also don't be pissing when you come on the show.
Dang it! You ruined my
Please.
plans.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'd be down to hear another another fine tuning argument. It's been a while since I had to go at that.
Yeah. Ashley said, I can't stand Hutu. I can't remember Hutu, so they must not have had. I think I've spoken to them before, but whatever they said was so unimaginably boring or stupid that I just don't remember it. So there's that. Coward and liars will not inherit the kingdom. Well, you heard it here first, folks. If you're a Christian, you're a coward and liar, don't get to enter the kingdom. So,
Kingdom
let's see.
Hearts.
Dipster says KJV is the best. Dipster, I don't know what planet you're living on. You're sure? Say
Dipsters
what?
are friendly. Dipsters are
Oh.
friendly. You know
Um,
Dipster.
listen,
Dipster's an
I
OG.
I just look at the comments. Listen, I can't tell.
Nice save.
When I can't tell when people are joking. So just let you know that I don't know what it is up here, but it just doesn't compute for me.
Someone asked a very serious question to Quanta. Ordeth
Oh, boy.
said, "How do you feel about the fine stream argument?"
The fine stream. That's what the other guest was trying to call in about first.
Okay, just I thought that we might get some answers, but this is another flat M's all over again, running.
Yep, sorry. I'm too cowardly.
Let's take a look. Ethiopian Bible is the truth. That's another thing. I don't know why. There are a lot of Christians who come on TikTok, and can you hear can you hear that in the background?
Hear what?
Sounds
Oh,
good
good.
to me. I don't.
Oh, good. We can't hear it. Good deal. It's my vent is open. I forgot to close it. I usually close it before I start live. Now, there are a lot of Christians who come on TikTok and they love to mention the Ethiopian Bible. And listen, Christians on TikTok, the Ethiopian Bible, first and foremost, isn't the true Bible. There is no such thing as the true Bible. There are multiple Bibles, and different books in the Bible will depend on what church you belong to, but we don't have any reason to believe. Like, the apostles didn't have a Bible. There was no such thing as they didn't go, well, everyone, I hope you brought your Bibles to church today. No, they didn't have anything like that. And they certainly didn't have some Ethiopian Bible. Ethiopian Bible is just as nonsense as the Catholic Bible, Orthodox Bible, or the Protestant Bible. Jesus was
Actually,
the word.
when you add Enoch, it just gives us more contradictions.
Here's an interesting thing. Here's an interesting thing. Because of the Trinity, okay, because the Holy Spirit is God, and the Holy Spirit appears as a dove, and Jesus is the Word, and he's also God, this means that the bird is in fact the Word.
God, you beat me to it. Oh man,
Bird,
I saw it coming.
Bird is the
Also, every time you mention Enoch, I kind of have a little bit PTSD because there's a guy here on TikTok who's like a infamous flat earther on here who goes by the name of Enoch, and that's all that I associate it with.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, okay, here's a fun thing you probably might not know, Quant. There is a witch in the book in the Old Testament, and she's from a place with a very particular name. She's called the Witch of Endor.
Really?
Yeah, like just like
Interesting.
the moon from Star Wars.
The Ewoks.
Yeah. There was an actual place in ancient Israel called Endor, and she was the Witch of Endor.
I like
Interesting. Is
I
that where
like
they
the
got
Metatron.
the name from?
I like the Metatron too.
Metatron is a great name. It fits right in with Transformers.
Yeah, Metatron is. I was just reading about Metatron today because we are often, I'll make a live dedicated to this topic, but the topic of how Jesus is not God. Well, what if Jesus gets called by the Tetragrammaton, Yud He Vav He? Is he therefore Yahweh? And the answer is no, because guess what? I have another example where an angel can be referred to by the divine name. So I guess I'll bring this up for everyone to see. In the Talmud, which is a compendium of Jewish oral tradition, if we look at the Talmud and we go to Tractate Sanhedrin, and we go to folio 38b of Sanhedrin, there is a reference to the angel Metatron. There's a did not mean to do that. Here we go. In the Talmud, they often discuss certain Bible passages, and in this case, they're discussing Exodus chapter 24, verse 1, because it says the Gemara relates a certain heretic said to Rav Edit, "It is written in the verse concerning God, Exodus 24, verse 1, and to Moses he said, 'Come up to the Lord.'" And in this case, it's not the Lord Adonai. The original Hebrew is the Lord Yahweh. So, and he said, and God said to Moses, "Come up to Yahweh." The heretic raised a question. It should have stated, "Come up to me." So the question is, why does this not say "come up"? If Yahweh's speaking, why doesn't Yahweh say "come up to me"? Instead, he says "come up to Yahweh." This individual was made the claim that there were two Yahwehs. Rav Edit said to him that this term Yahweh, the Lord, in that verse is referring to the angel Metatron, whose name is like the name of his master, as it is written, and they quote a Bible verse we bring up all the time in these discussions. "Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you to the place that I have prepared. Take heed of him and obey his voice. Do not defy him, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him." Exodus 23, verses 20 through 11. So this is an example within the Talmud of what we often refer to on the channel as the divine name, God's name, being used as a communicable vehicle for divine agency and authority. That the Metatron is, from the perspective of the author, from the debaters of the Talmud, the Metatron is the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament, and that the Metatron is called Yahweh, even though it's not Yahweh, because the name of Yahweh was placed in the angel. Skog, welcome to the live. What brings you up, bud?
I have a quick question, and thank you. That was very informative regarding the Metatron. That's very fascinating. And thank you for having me up. So you brought up the word Gehenna earlier, right? And I actually heard that word before in a, this was way earlier in the live, but I heard that word before, and someone told me it's like Hebrew or Greek for like trash or something, or trash dump. Do you know anything about that?
So not exactly. So in the Hebrew Bible, there is a valley. It's called the Valley of the Sons of Hinnom. And it was a place where people would offer up their children as sacrifices to the gods. In Hebrew, the name of this valley, to say Valley of the Sons of Hinnom, is Ge B'nai Hinnom. And eventually it was called the Valley of Hinnom, Ge Hinnom. The way that this word was rendered into Greek was Gehenna. And so by the time you get to the New Testament period, the word Gehenna has been used to refer to the judgment that God is going to, because of the fact that how the atrocities that were associated with the Valley of Hinnom. Eventually, Jewish people began to use Gehenna as a way of symbolically referring to the judgment of fire that God was going to bestow upon his enemies. So in the New Testament, Jesus, whenever he says hell, the Greek there is Gehenna, because he's referring to the stereotypical way that Jewish people refer to hell in that period of Judaism. In fact, in the Talmud, Gehenna is used to refer to the fiery afterlife. Now, there was an idea that was being pushed around a while back that Gehenna was used as a fire dump where the people would throw the trash and burn it, but there's no evidence to suggest this. As far as all the data are concerned, it was a place where people would offer up their children in sacrifices to the gods.
Oh, wow. So that's really fascinating. I mean, so from my understanding, in Judaism, they don't believe in hell, right? So Was that just kind of like a
No, they do.
from a Christian translation? Oh, they do. Okay. I actually
They
didn't know
just
that.
they just don't believe in the hell the way that Christians believe in hell. So in modern day Judaism, the belief is that when a person dies, their neshama, their soul, will, if they're like not a righteous person, they go to Gehenna, and in Gehenna they're not tortured for eternity. Rather, the burning it serves the same function as purgatory does within Catholicism. So that the Gehenna like purges them of any like uncleanliness, and therefore their neshama, their soul, can move on to Gan Eden, into paradise. And in Judaism, the idea is that a person at most can spend 12 months in Gehenna, and then after that they are released into Gan Eden. Now, within the time of the Talmud, there was a belief that there was different opinions on the afterlife, and one of the opinions was that there were 3 stages. There were 3 different places that people could go. They either would go straight to Gan Eden, to paradise, or they would go to Gehenna, where they would be purified. But there was also a third option where people would go to Gehenna and they would be utterly annihilated and obliterated and cease to exist. And now also within modern day Judaism, some Jews believe it. 12 months, what?
12 months seems oddly specific. Is there any significance behind that number, or?
It's a year. 12 is also significant to the Jewish people, as it's a highly symbolic number. 12 tribes of Israel, for example, but also it's the number of a year. One calendar function. Now, around the medieval period, another thing was introduced into Judaism. Not all Jews believe in this thing, but ultra Orthodox Jews do, and it's the idea of Gilgulim, which is reincarnation. Yes, Jewish people, ultra Orthodox Jews do, and even just Orthodox Jews sometimes, believe in the concept of reincarnation. That because they divide the soul up into different parts, and certain parts of the soul can be reincarnated to become new persons. In fact, in the Kabbalah, the belief is that Adam was reincarnated to become David, and one day David will become reincarnated to become the Messiah himself. They even go even further to say that. Oh yeah. They even go further to say that if you take the first letter of Adam, David, and Mashiach, Messiah, it's Aleph, Dalet, Mem, which spells out Adam, or Adam, man. So there's a whole thing. But ancient Jews prior to the medieval period didn't believe in reincarnation. We have no evidence in the Talmud that they did, or in the Hebrew Bible. This is an innovation that occurred sometime during the medieval period.
That's very fascinating, honestly. I didn't know that about anything with. I mean, I did know one thing, and I was always confused about it. They said, "Is it in the Talmud?" Something about somebody told me. This might be completely wrong, but they said Jesus is in there and he's burning in hell and like feces or something. Do you know anything about that, or is that like a weird claim?
The thing is, there are 2 Jesuses mentioned in the Talmud. One is Jesus HaNotzri, Jesus of Nazareth, and the other one is a different Jesus who lived about 100 years before the time of Jesus of Nazareth. And I don't remember specifically which, but there is a Jesus who's mentioned as burning in feces in Gehenna in the Talmud. I don't remember if it's meant to be that Jesus of Nazareth, or is meant to be Jesus ben Stada, who lived during the time of Janaeus, 100 years before the time of Jesus of Nazareth. So I'd have to go back and look at that. But yeah, there is a reference to a Jesus who is burning in feces in Gehenna. Gaston,
so that whole time I thought I apologize. I said like the whole time I thought that version of Judaism, or sorry, that whoever believed in Talmud was completely separate from Judaism. But just looking it up, it seems like it's a certain extension in some sects. I'm just going to use that word because I don't know the right word.
The majority of Jews hold to the Talmud as being legally binding. It's basically the written compendium of Jewish oral tradition. But I do have a new guest. So Skog, thank you for coming up.
Yep.
And for your wonderful questions.
Have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you too, bud. All right, our last guest for the night over on YouTube Oh, Raven. Raven. All right. We're gonna bring on Raven as first.
Um, what's it? Being atheist space, is this too much shoulders? How much stoning am I like gonna face in the process?
You're you're absolutely good. Raven, hello, welcome to the live. I'm gonna ask you some preliminary questions, and then we can move on to the meat and potatoes. Question number 1: Are you at least 18?
Yes.
Question number 2: Are you a Bible believer?
No, but raised in a Christian culture.
All right, then I'll skip question 3 and go to question 4. What pronouns do you prefer to go by?
She, her.
She, her. Raven, she, her. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy, atheist, Bible scholar communicator. What brings you up to the live, Raven?
Well, it's actually some stuff you've said that's kind of in a similar vein to how I see the historical Jesus of Nazareth, or well, I should say, what's it, Yahushua of Nazareth, because Jesus is the fucking like Greco shit. At the end of the day, the Bible seemed to have been written by a bunch of anti-Semites. Anything that's said about this guy in the Bible is a scrambly mess. I think that the idea that he was just some blasphemer, I don't think actually is the case. I think he was made into a blasphemer by the Romans. What I think he was a slave rebel. I mean, like, I remember when there was a mistranslation of him being the son of a carpenter instead of actually the son of a masonry worker. Changes like kind of a letters to like, because the Greek word for it is
Tekton.
similar. Yeah, so the Romans, it's probably a mistake, but it could have also have been them trying to raise his class so he would be like more of a benign influencer on the middle class of Rome rather than
Well,
a
that's a
slave rebel influencer.
that's a possibility. So the Greek word tekton has a semantic range that can include masons, but it can also include carpenters, because we read in the book of don't you can't do no smoking on the stream.
I'm so sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway,
YouTube streamer where like you can get away with so much more.
But,
It's like the weirdest things.
Yeah. But on if you read the Hebrew Bible, for example, we have an example of an individual who in the Septuagint is called a tekton, and yet they are one who works wood in order to build idols. So a tekton can refer to a carpenter as well as a mason. You would just need to have further information around the person in order to know exactly what it was that they were a builder of. Everyone.
I think with Jesus, I think my understanding is mapping it up with Palestine at the time. Palestine was in a rumble against the Romans, because it's the thing. I think Matthew's take on Jesus is like a load of shit. His genealogy, it makes no sense. It makes way more sense that he was born under Kaiser's rule over Palestine, and him being a part of the formed struggle against it. Why did he kick Jews down the temple steps? What kind of pacifist boots people down fucking steps because they were selling out your culture to the Romans? Like, I think a lot of Christians forget about that part when they try and do that like toxic pacifism against like minorities and shit. As Jesus weren't like that. When people were selling out the minorities of the region to the colonial oppressor, he said, nah, fuck that. Like, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's could be a passive aggressive statement. I think there's a lot that doesn't get critically analyzed because it's the take of anti-Semites that love the Roman Empire as to how we've been told who this guy is. So I just distrust pretty much all of it.
I hold to the idea personally right now that I do hold to the idea that the majority of the Gospels is fiction. That they're not really telling us a lot about the historical Jesus. If I had to, there's not much that I'm willing to say about the historical Jesus because we don't really get a lot of information on him. What I am willing and able to say is I believe that Jesus was probably born and from Nazareth, not Bethlehem. That he was a teacher of some kind within Judaism, at least an itinerant teacher, not something like, he's not clergy or anything like that. Such an idea of like rabbinical clergy doesn't really exist in the first century, but he's like an itinerant preacher who preaches Torah, probably known as a wonder worker. Not that he actually did perform miracles, but like how modern day, like preachers are known as wonder workers.
Or even put it into like how it's been spiritualized. It's like any sort of street radical. Like I do political work out in the streets with the neurodivergent of us here, just unusually committed. And so you took on a lot of the faith and you've taught a lot of it because back in those days, let's say for like socialists, you'd often be a utopian. So you would believe in all the religion and push all the stuff. It's like no matter how much progression you get, I think with Josephus is a great example. Like he's great on history to a certain point, but then eventually he relies on the book because he's still a religious person. And I think that's what you're going to expect from Jesus is a lot of what gets called miracles is probably him just like feeding poor people, being willing to sit with those to get treated like the diseased and the addled and stuff like that.
That is possible. However, at the same time, we have to remember that, people were very superstitious back in the day. And, there's a phenomenon even today. Like, for example, you said you grew up religious, right?
We literally have like institutionalized like religious schools up until like high school. And then when they stop doing it, they still take you to like church every time there's a fucking religious holiday. So like they just like sided it off to the church so they could be non-religious. We don't get called a theocracy, but the UK is a theocracy.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a sort of like a Pentecostal background, and my pastor would engage in faith healings. So my pastor was known as a miracle worker and a wonder worker, but in reality, he wasn't actually performing miracles. And I think that probably the same exact thing is going on with Jesus of Nazareth because it wouldn't be unique to him. There are lots of people in the ancient world who engage in what they think that they are performing actual miracles of healing, and people believe that they'll believe that they're healed in some manner, in some way, and those stories just get exaggerated over time. So I think that's probably and does Jesus?
I actually reverted back to Christianity at one point.
Yeah,
I
same.
started dabbling with Catholicism, and then I ended up being like inducted. Like incidentally, I just overstayed at a Trinity church, and then the bridging gap between the Protestants and the the Trinity. But what's it? Pentecostals also use that church, and I overstayed and ended up getting involved a bit. They pulled me in. Oh, dude, those guys crazy, but they predicate on the poor a lot. They use that faith healing kind of stuff to prey on the poor, and then try and make us be as selfish as like most like imperial core first world types are. Like where they want you to think about yourself, pray about yourself. Like they go trying to get us all to do some prayers, and there's a genocide going on. And I wanted to mention Palestine, and they went like crazy, like absolutely fucking crazy, being like, no, 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 it has to be about you. And I'm like, well, I think I care about this. What do you mean about me? I
Yeah.
was always taught growing up, because I used to try and pray child abuse away. I had a really rough upbringing. Christianity was like wringed out of me. I was like a Satanist and everything at one point. Fun experience, but like, you pray for it, pray for it. What you'd always be told is that it's sort of the same bullshit that a parent will say when they're like really abusive and they don't really like care about their kids' needs. The "I want never gets" kind of thing. But like said in a more like soft and spongy way where it's like, no, you're not really supposed to ask for things like that. God doesn't really work like that. That's self-serving. And then it's like, so he's supposed to bring me in a peace, but not at the same time. And that lie works with a lot of people when you're in a crisis. As Mark said, it's the opium of the masses. And he meant that in both a derogatory and a complimentary way. It helps in hard times. It can be something that we use to cope, but also it can be very addictive, and it can turn you into an absolute fucking madman.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, but Raven, hey, thank you for coming up and having a talk with us. You were the last
Oh
guest for
no,
the
yeah, I've
day.
always wanted to come and have a chat with
And
yous.
and
Like
free
fucking
Palestine.
the war
Yeah, free
against like
Palestine.
theocracy is on right now. Like they
Free
taking over
Palestine.
every country they can. So we gotta like
Hell
really
yeah.
dispel a lot of this ignorance.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, friend, and you have a we'll see you around.
We'll see you around. Have a good night.
All right, W for the last guest. Everyone, make sure that let's find. Let's see who we're gonna send a raid off to. Let's see who's live right now. I just decided mid conversation that I was going to split my camera that way because I just realized that whenever I'm looking at my screen, it looks like I'm looking away from the guests. So I flip my screen so it looks like I'm talking to them. My brain, you know.
I do the trick too, where
Daniel
where
and
I put my video as close to my webcam as possible.
Oh yeah,
Daniel and Mama Bash are both live.
Daniel. Okay. We'll. How about we'll send we've sent the last two. We've sent them to Mama Bash 2 times now. So I think it's Daniel's turn. So everyone, I'm gonna get YouTube.
Yeah,
Let's
I was
see,
going to say give them time.
Yeah, let's see if I can find a Switch account. Bible Guy 96. I'm gonna try to share this with YouTube Punk. YouTube Punk, we're gonna send people over to Daniel Green over there. Let's see. Everyone, this is where we're sending you guys. Tell them that the Bible Guy sent you. Copy link. Discord. Paste. There you go, bud. I sent you the TikTok link. So until then, here, let's take a look and fun fact. Why I guess until then I'll give you guys another lesson, and this will go kind of into like astrophysics a little bit. So it'll be fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy Quant. So why is it that the number 7 is so important to the ancient Near Eastern peoples? Not just Israel, but 7 was also important to the Babylonians. The Babylonians were the ones who invented the 7-day week, which the Israelites inherited as well. Why 7 out of all numbers? Well, when you look up into the night sky, you see.
I thought it was. Is it 6, 7? 6, 7.
Oh,
I'm losing hope
a
in
little
you.
piece of me just died.
When you look into the night sky, you see a bunch of stars. Okay. And generally, the ancients noticed that the stars are all moving in a certain way, but they noticed that some of the stars don't exactly move in the same way that the rest of them do. Ain't that right,
The
Quant?
wandering stars, yes.
The wandering stars, and those stars actually, as it would turn out, aren't actually stars, they're planets. But you'll never see the word planet in the Hebrew Bible.
Nope.
If you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, it says that God created the sun and the moon and the stars. No mention of planets, because for the ancient Israelites, the planets were included in the category of the stars. Now, the ancients noticed that there were 5 stars that would move, that would wander in the night sky. And what else moves in the night sky? The sun and the moon. You have these 7 celestial bodies which are moving in the night sky, contrary to everything else, and in the day sky, because the sun is, there are 7 celestial bodies that are moving in the sky, and they treated these also as deities, and they were very special. Which is why they revered the number 7, is because of the 7 celestial deities. Now, the Greeks would go on to refer to these wandering stars as planetus in Greek, which means wanderers, which is where we get the word planet. So that is why the number 7 it was so significant to the Babylonians and also to the Canaanites and the Israelites, because of the 7 wandering celestial bodies in the sky. So, That's why there are 7 heavens, by the way, in first century Jewish cosmology. They believe that each one of the 7 heavens was the abode of one of those celestial bodies. And if you look at old charts of the 7 heavens, so let's see, whether it's Islamic or Christian. Let's see if I can find here we go. Not iPad. Here's a chart of the 7 heavens. Here, open and can I open this in a new link? There we go. You have, of course, the Earth in the center, and then I can't really quite read all of these because it's in Latin, but I believe what we have here is firmament. That's the firmament in the outer region. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Le Soleil, Venus, Mercury, La Luna, which is the moon, and then you have a fiery region here, and the atmosphere, and then the Earth. And this is what they thought in the time of Jesus, what the heavens were like: 7 concentric spheres, where 5 of them were the planets and 2 were the sun and the moon, and those were the 7 celestial spheres. So that's why
I did want to ask. I know back then Venus is often referred to as the morning star and the evening star. I almost was under the impression that they almost thought that those were 2 separate things. Because one you would only see in the morning, one you'd only see in the evening.
Yeah,
and they'd
I don't
alternate
know.
back and forth of which one.
I don't know whether or not they'd categorize the morning evening star as 2 separate stars or not. Now I don't know. But yeah, you're right.
Lucifer is often associated with, was it the evening star or morning?
Morning star. Morning. Yeah, and the reason
which
for
sort
that
of implies that they think that they were 2 separate things.
And the
I
morning
haven't
and
looked into that too deeply.
And the reason for that, if you read Isaiah chapter 14, by the way, for everyone, it's only Lucifer in the Latin. In the original Hebrew, it's Hillel ben Shechar, bright one or shining one, son of the dawn. And it's meant to be a reference to the planet Venus, which is the last star to be really shine through before the rising of the sun. And the imagery there in Isaiah 14 is that, the king of Babylon is raising himself up as if he's like the highest of all things. But he will be outshined by like God himself, and so he'll be thrown down, which is like the imagery there. But anyways, I think now let me see if I have any super chat. I'll read one last you got one last super chat, and then we'll be ending the live for the day. Let me get my reading glasses. At
Dot to the Bible, Jason. With the $5. Tell them that you're the Metatron. They'll stare at you blankly. Say something in a Charlton Heston movie, and suddenly everybody's a theology scholar.
This is true. And that's because Christians have a very rudimentary and shallow understanding of the Bible. If you talk to them about anything with an actual scholarship, like the Metatron, they hardly will ever know anything about it. By the way, for everyone who doesn't know, the Metatron, we think perhaps maybe the meaning of the word Metatron comes from the Greek metathronos, meaning like beside the throne, because it's the angel that is closest to God. And in the books of 1st and 2nd and 3rd Enoch, the Metatron is Enoch, who has been exalted to the status of the highest of all God's angels. So there's a little bit more information.
Man, I knew the Decepticons were behind Christianity.
There you go.
Metatron.
It's just one of their plots.
Yeah, so funny. But anyways, everyone, I've been the Bible guy. Remember to keep reading, keep learning. Have a good day, and we will see you all again Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Shalom.
The Dunkanites roll out.
Dunkanites. Oh yeah.
Dunkanites roll out.
Born from dust and question.
spell I.
Wielding truth like a sword of desire. Ancient scrolls and cosmic flame. He tears through myth, he breaks the chain. Echoes of prophets, the stars align. Knowledge and thunder intertwine. Reason ascends where blind faith fell. He reads the word and he reads it well. The Bible guide, seeker of the light. Through time and fire he rides the night. With reason's blade and wisdom's cry. The world shall hear the Bible guide. Scrolls of ages, words aflame. He dares to question